Atlantic Broadband Cable, in cooperation with the South Union Township Supervisors, presents the South Union Township Sports Network today via tape delay from Thomas Landman Field, the home of the Laurel Highlands High School boys baseball team. It's LH Baseball. The Mustangs take on the Albert Gallatin Colonials. Hello, everybody. I'm Nick Barczyk, along with Gary Frankhauser and Jerry Dupay, and we welcome you aboard for today's high school baseball game. South Union Township Sports Network coverage is brought to you as a joint cooperative venture featuring Township Supervisors Bob Schiffbauer, Rick Vernon, and Jason Scott, Atlantic Broadband Cable, Armstrong Cable, and CUTV with Gary Smith and their fine staff. Once again, I'm Nick Barczyk with Gary Frankhauser and Jerry Dupay. We'll be back with the lineups and the first pitch coming up right after this on the South Union Township Sports Network.
Good luck to the Mustangs from the South Union Township Supervisors, Rick Vernon, Jason Scott, and Robert Schiffbauer.
Welcome back here on 590 AM, 101.1 FM, WMBS, the MSA Sports Network and the South Union Township Sports Network. Gary Frankhauser, Jerry Dupay, Joe Salzone, and yours truly, Nick Barczyk, here for high school baseball. Albert Gallatin taking on Laurel Highlands. Let's set the Albert Gallatin lineup. Right before we head ready to get ready to play here, Hudson Novak on the mound, by the way, for the Mustangs in the Albert Gallatin lineup, led by head coach Ron Popovich. The lineup being brought to you by Davis & Davis, attorneys at law, helping local people with their legal matters since 1976. Regardless of your legal problem, Davis & Davis promises you personalized, friendly hometown service. For Albert Gallatin, they're leading off with their center fielder Nate Bricker. In the number 2 spot, shortstop Adam Simon, designated hitter Jace Capellini in the 3-hole. Sam Halacki hits cleanup for the Colonials in left field. Willie Palmer on the mound. He is batting 5th. Darien Palmer hits 6th. He's at third base. Dylan Over in the 7th spot. At first base, Austin Bergman in the 8th spot in right field for Albert Gallatin. R.J. Halacki behind the dish, catching, hitting 9th. Colby Uphold at second base for the Colonials. And very quickly, maybe, Gary, we'll
look at that defense for the Mustangs.
Take a look at the defense.
On the mound again, Hudson Novak. Behind the plate, Chad Petrus. Around that infield, you have Berminio on third, Sankovitz at short, Burns at second, McManus at first. In the outfield, Richie Mihal in center, Richie Mihal in left, Evan Boyton in center field, and in right field, Derek Gaisbauer.
Thank you, Gary. Almost set to go here for high school baseball. Laurel Highlands taking on Albert Gallatin, starting a few minutes earlier today than the projected 4 o'clock first pitch. But we're set to go, and the first pitch is low and away for ball 1. Nate Bricker stepping in against Hudson Novak, the right-hander on the mound for the Mustangs, wearing number 11.
And Hudson, in his senior season, already committed to head to Lock Haven, I believe.
Lock Haven. Good luck to him at the next level as he delivers a 1-0 strike of the knees, 1-1 to the batter, Bricker. Mustangs in their home whites, trimmed with red and blue. Albert Gallatin wearing black uniforms. This one in the air to center field and to right center, and coming over to his left to make the catch is the center fielder, Evan Boyton. 1 away.
Good start there by Hudson Novak, working him low and outside, getting it away from Nate Bricker. Bricker with that big home run in the last game between the Mustangs and the Colonials to pull out that victory for the Colonials. So we'll have to be careful with Nate all throughout this game.
One away on the fly out by Bricker. Now the batter, shortstop Adam Simon. Right-handed batter takes low and away, ball one.
Bright sunny day, something we have not seen for a week or so around here.
Absolutely. A little chilly, but still we'll take it. We're inside the press box down the first base right field line. The kick and the come home from Novak on the 1-0 to Simon is over the heart of the plate for strike one.
Coach Popovich for Albert Gallatin really trying to point this team in the right direction. Good future ahead for them. And same thing on the Mustang side, trying to determine who they're going to have to move forward in next year's action.
2-1 now to Simon. That's definitely the case, Gary. These two teams, sub-500 records, winding down the regular season, but hoping to play well down the stretch. That one, a base knock to right field, getting past the second baseman in the right field. A one-out single for Adam Simon. First hit of the ball game.
Ball directly between McManus at first and Burns at second into the newly mown grass out there in right field.
Grass looks good.
Gaysbauer up with it. That's going to be one on and one out. Brings up Jace Capellini, the designated hitter.
Jace Capellini, just a sophomore, hitting .370 on his second season playing high school baseball. Runner gets his lead.
Capellini, many sport athlete, very versatile.
Novak into the stretch. He checks on the runner, and runner being held on by Mason McManus at first. Here's the pitch, up and in. Capellini gets out of the way of that one. And the count 2-0.
They called that a strike, 1-1. He must have went after it.
There's a strike called there.
Yeah, he must have called that. Or the first one was a strike. I'm not sure which, but it is 1-1.
So the count 1-1. They say the bat crossed the plane of the plate, I guess, and that one is chopped foul. So now the count 1-2 on Capellini with Sam Halacki, the cleanup hitting left fielder, on deck for the Colonials.
Which is what you really call a defensive strike.
Absolutely.
Ducking out of the way. Bat went with him.
Unfortunate there for Capellini, but the Mustangs will take it. The 1-2 from Novak. That one popped foul out of play. Maybe, no, it'll be caught by the catcher who runs into the home plate umpire. That one looked like it was heading for back behind the backstop.
And
that'll be a foul out, too.
Chad Petrus just pushing the umpire out of the way. Had right. To kind of give him a cross-body block and got him out of the way to make that catch. So then he gives him a little pat on the back. Sorry about that.
That happens in the heat of competition. Petrus, the catcher, collides with a home plate umpire. Makes the play, though. Foul out 2 on the scorecard. 2 outs and 1 on for Sam Halacki.
Big lead down here at first.
Big lead.
Quick
in the throw over.
Whoa, close one.
Very close, but safe. Sliding in head first is Adam Simon. Tag applied by McManus. Good throw over by the senior Novak. Chirping in his ear, I'm sure. 2 outs, and he gets the lead. Novak throws over again.
Hard
late.
Tag applied there by McManus.
Very moderate lead by Simon. Novak in the stretch. 2 outs, a runner on, scoreless in the top of the first. Mustangs and Colonials. This one lined into center field, and misjudging that one was the center fielder Voighton. And off to the races goes Simon. He's rounding third, heading for home, and stopping at second after a moderate turn. We have a throw to the plate here, and sliding in safely is Adam Simon. Ball gets to the backstop, throw down, and safe at third is Sam Halacki. So we'll give him a double and an error, presumably on the scorecard. It's 1-0 AG.
I have to rule that an error on the center fielder, Nick. That one probably should have been caught. He came in and the ball went over his head, so we're going to rule that an error on Evan Voighton.
That makes sense.
He's kind of misjudged that, and so that's an unearned run, but puts Halacki down at third, and Adam Simon comes all the way around on the throw to the plate. He's now on third base. I'm sorry, Halacki on third. Simon scoring the run.
Simon scores. Halacki's at third, 2 outs, 1-0, and that pitch is high. For Willie Palmer, who's on the mound today for Albert Gallatin. He has an early 1-0 lead. And
aggressive base running there. Coach Popovich down on third. Ball was into the shortstop, Sankovic, at about 15 feet into the grass. By the time he was reaching third, sent him. Ball was up the third base line slightly and kind of got away from Petrus, allowing the run to score.
Novak's pitch is high, and now a meeting on the mound between catcher and pitcher, the battery of Novak and Petrus. Unfortunate there for Evan Voyden, who misjudged that ball hit in the air to center field by Halaki, and AG out to an early 1-0 lead, but Novak right now trying to keep that runner from scoring at third. Now the 3-0 to Palmer, the kick and the come home from Novak. That one is low for ball four, a 4-pitch walk to Palmer. Runners at the corners now and 2 out.
Another opportunity for Albert Gallatin to add to this 1-0 lead here in the top of the first.
Dylan Poker.
Novak looks in. Runners on the corners. 2 outs, 1-0. The batter, Dylan over. One nothing AG. Novak peers in. Runner at first gets his lead, being held on by McManus. Strike at the knees, 0-1.
No courtesy runner for Willie Palmer. Stays in there to run.
No, he'll stay in there. Gets his lead. The throw over by Novak. On target, but late. Good tag applied by McManus.
Probably be a pretty good crowd arriving here. And although we start a little bit early, hopefully they pick that up on the radio side and get here to see the remainder of this action. That one's low and outside.
Yeah, Gary, great day for high school baseball. A chill in the air. Feels like a typical weekday afternoon in April or May for high school baseball, but the sun's shining and no threat of the wet stuff today after a pretty rainy weekend around southwestern Pennsylvania. They had trouble getting in the Pirate games this weekend at PNC Park, but they managed to get all 3 in.
Snow in the mountains.
That's right. Snow up in the mountain areas in May. This one popped up on the right side. Out to the right fielder, comes in a few paces, makes the catch.
Gaisbauer
out
on
9.
that catch.
That's Derek Gaisbauer to end the inning. And a run comes home. An error, a walk, a hit. Couple of balls in the air to end the inning, and par over flies out to end the inning, and we played half an inning. We head to the bottom of the first after this. Albert Gallatin 1, Laurel Highlands nothing. Back right after this. The law firm of Radcliffe and Diaz High School Sports Day on WMBS, the MSA Sports Network, and the South Union Township Sports Network.
Centers for Rehab Services, CRS, a part of UPMC and the Center for Sports Medicine, is a proud sponsor of the South Union Township Sports Network and its coverage of area youth sports. Make Centers for Rehab Services your choice for all of your physical and occupational therapy needs. CRS, located at 160 Wayland Smith Drive, provides physical therapy, occupational therapy, work injury programs, and hand therapy. Valuing patient satisfaction is one of their highest priorities. Centers for Rehab Services offers a patient-centered environment where each patient has an individualized treatment plan developed for their specific needs. They are experts in helping you recover from injuries, increase strength, and build endurance. CRS professionals have become highly skilled through a strong commitment to continuing education and advanced certifications to ensure the most cutting-edge and cost-effective treatment for their patients. Jim Burns, a lifetime Uniontown area resident, is a licensed physical therapist and facility director of the Uniontown location, as well as a field faculty instructor for Duquesne University and for the University of Pittsburgh School of Physical Therapy. He invites you to stop by his state-of-the-art location and discuss your rehabilitation needs. Center for Rehab Services is participating with most insurance plans, including all Highmark products, UPMC Health Plan, and Medicare. Available 5 days a week and offering extended hours for patient convenience. Patients are seen within 24 to 48 hours, and walk-ins are always welcome. Patients may also be seen through direct access, which does not require a physician's prescription. CRS worked with physicians and other healthcare providers to help you find relief, live your life again, and get you back into the game. For more information, call CRS at 724-437-7500. Where you treat for physical therapy is always your choice, so ask for Centers for Rehab Services. It's your health, it's your choice.
And welcome back here on WMBS, the MSA Sports Network and the South Union Township Sports Network. Nick Barczyk and Jerry Dupay. Bottom of the first, 1-0 Albert Gallatin leading the Mustangs. Let us check the Mustang lineup. And leading off and pitching, Hudson Novak, number 11, and the 2 spot, shortstop, number 9, Travis Sankovic. Derek Gasebauer, the right fielder, number 23, hits in the 3rd position. Mason McManus hits cleanup, number 10, the first baseman. Ian Edenfield, the designated hitter, number 24. Evan Voighton in center field, he hits 6th. Rich Mihal, the left fielder. Josh Burns at second base. Tanner Minio at 3rd. And Chad Petrus, the catcher for the Mustangs.
Leading off the bottom of the first inning for Laurel.
And Hudson Novak will lead things off. We'll set that defense for Albert Gallatin right after this.
Swing and a miss, 0-1 to Novak.
Need to do some housekeeping on the Albert Gallatin side. We had a little bit of a mix-up with the lineup. We'll try to correct that for you here in this half inning.
And we apologize for that. The 0-1 to Novak is a tad high at the letters, 1-1. Novak, Sankovic, Gasebauer, anyone reaches McManus. 1-0 Albert Gallatin here in the bottom of the first. The kick in the come home from Willie Palmer is fouled off 1-2.
So looking at that line outfield for Albert Gallatin, Halatke in left, Bricker in right, and Austin Bergman. I'm sorry, Bricker in center, Bergman in right. We'll get it.
We'll get there, Gary.
Yeah.
We'll get there. Absolutely. One of those days. It's a Monday.
A little bit of information.
Live radio at its finest.
Miscommunication.
Communication breakdown, as Led Zeppelin would say. This one line down the right field line, out of play, foul.
Came right in front of our window here.
Certainly did. That was a screamer. As Novak stays alive, leading off for the Mustangs here in the home half of the first. As the crowd does start to build down the left field line. Palmer on top of the hill. The kick and the come home. The 2-strike pitch to Novak is hit in the air to left center field. Coming in is the center fielder to make the catch with 2 hands. That's the way to do it. And that is Nate Bricker. Yes, Gary. One away.
So looking back at that last inning, half inning for Albert Gallatin, Nate Bricker led off with the fly out to center. Adam Simon came on with a single. Jace Cappellini popped up to the catcher. Then that's where we have the misinformation. Sam Halatke did not bat. He is who is being designated hit for.
Correct.
And now batting for the Mustangs, Travis Sankovic. Just go back then. Willie Palmer was the individual who popped up to center field. We ruled that the error.
Swing and a miss by Sankovic.
Which scored Simon, and Darien Palmer then walked. Dylan Over finished the inning with the fly out to right field.
Thank you, Gary. So everything is square there. 1-0 Albert Gallatin. 1 out, nobody on. That pitch a ball. 2-1 to Travis Sankovic, left-hand hitting batter, number 9, the shortstop for the Mustangs. Palmer on top of the rubber, kicks and comes home, and a late swing and a miss by Sankovic. Now the count even to 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Palmer came with the high heat there.
Palmer, 2-2. That one hit in the air to left field, left center. Bricker coming in a few paces to his right to circle under that one to make the catch. 2 flyouts to Nate Bricker. 2 away for the Mustangs here in the bottom of the first.
We've seen that a lot in the last couple games. The Mustangs, a lot of fly balls. Just need to line drive a little few of those would result in some extra base hits.
Sure, Coach Scott DeBerry would like that. And talking to him before the game earlier on today, still wants to see a lot of effort out of his club, understandably. Same with Ron Popovich. Both teams sub 500 out of the playoffs here, winding down the season, but still want to show the effort. And 2 teams are so far today. That's a strike of the knees to Derek Gasebauer, number 23. Plays right field today.
0-2 to Derek. So Palmer working quickly and efficiently.
2 outs, nobody on. The 0-2 from Palmer. Kicks and comes home. That one high and away, 1-2. Nice snag by the catcher, R.J. Halacki for the Colonials. Palmer is working very quickly and efficiently, as Gary said. That one chopped foul at a play back behind the backstop.
The fans are trickling in. You would normally see a pretty good crowd here for Laurel Highlands and Albert Gallatin, and that will be the case. Cars lining up, chairs all out.
Certainly good to see. Here's the 2-strike pitch.
Oh,
that one just missed, and Gary looked like it was right at the knees over the plate.
Well, it might have been a little bit outside. We have a bad angle here, so we're not going to question the umpire's
certainly
efficiency from this point of view.
Even if we had a perfect view, it's best to let the men in blue decide the game in balls and strikes. That one is grounded foul, may have hit the foot of Gasebauer down the line, third base line. If he reaches, Mason McManus on deck. Palmer takes his time, stands on top of the mound, now on top of the rubber. Looks into Halacki. Pitch on the way. This one lined our way again down the right field line, foul. Right fielder goes to get it.
I'm going to catch
Austin
one of those before the night's over.
That's
Nick.
right. Gary has his oversized glove that you see some fans bring to the game. Some Pirate fans bring those to PNC Park, those big gloves. And
just as we said, there was no wind. It's picked up.
Absolutely.
Blowing out to right field, it appears.
Palmer's pitch. That one inside to Gasebauer. Now the count is full with 3 balls and 2 strikes. Good at bat by Gasebauer after 2 relatively quick outs by the Mustangs. Palmer's 3-2. That one outside. He works a walk. Very good at bat for Gasebauer and a 2-out walk.
Probably hearing that wind now coming over our microphones as it's really picked up when there was very little, if any, when we started this game. Now just in the bottom of the first, a gust of wind certainly would be a factor if the ball gets up in the air to right field.
Absolutely. Hopefully the wind doesn't play too much a factor in this one. Still very early, but it's whipping around now. That pitch low for ball 1 to Mason McManus, first baseman. Right-hand batter, cleanup hitting number 10 for the Mustangs today. Moderate lead at first for Gasebauer, being held on by Dylan Over. Palmer out of the stretch with a man on and 2 outs, and this one fouled out of play to the right.
Big hockey game tonight, Nick.
Certainly, Gary. Game 6, Pens and Caps. A busy day on WMBS. Not many times we have 3 games on a weekday especially, but we have this game, high school baseball, the Pens and Caps, and then Pirates baseball put on the coffee at 10:10 for Pirates Dodgers from Chavez Ravine in California. But that's a very big hockey game, you're right, and that pitch up and in for a ball. The Pens trying to put away the Capitals and trying to win a second straight Stanley Cup, and they're getting closer and closer with each win. So good luck to the Pens and the Buccos tonight as Palmer is in the stretch. And the pitch, swing and a miss by McManus. Now the count even at 2-2.
Even with those 10 o'clock baseball games from the West Coast, I always find myself up at night watching those things.
Sleep deprived the next morning, but West Coast baseball pretty cool. Unless you're aboard up. With that pitch, the runner going down to second, throw down. Safe call. Sliding in safely is Derek Gasebauer with a 2-out, 2-strike stolen base.
Strong throw by Halacki, and the tag applied there by Sam Halacki.
Yeah, the Halacki's getting together there.
I'm sorry. That was Uphold at second base. I'm sorry.
Yes, it was the second baseman covering Uphold. Thanks, Gary. This one fouled off.
Gets Gasebauer into scoring position, so McManus trying to get a base knock here.
So Palmer works here after 2 quick outs, 2 fly balls to center, a walk, and a stolen base for Gasebauer. Gets his lead, being a few paces off of second. No one holding him on with 2 outs and 2 strikes. The batter, McManus. He asks for time, and he gets it.
So what started to be a quick inning for Willie Palmer, getting the first two men to fly out to center field, has now turned into an excessive pitch count. Not having an official pitch count here. We're probably in excess of 20 now.
This one grounded up the middle, a base hit with 2 outs and 2 strikes. That's a base knock for McManus. Coming around third and standing up safely and scoring is Derek Gasebauer. We're tied at 1. And a good job of the Mustangs to get a run there after 2 quick outs. A walk, a steal, and an RBI single for McManus. We're tied at 1.
Nice job by Mason McManus, working the count and just drilling that ball right back up the middle. No chance for Nate Bricker in center field to make a play at the plate. Gasebauer scores easily, ties it at 1.
We are tied at 1. Base hit for McManus. Now the batter, Ian Edenfield, throw over not in time.
Good power at the plate with Ian Edenfield.
Palmer's pitch. Late strike call there.
Curveball.
Got him on the curveball to Ian Edenfield. McManus gets his lead. Palmer's pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 2 on Ian Edenfield.
Ian, one of those underclassmen that will be back next year.
Palmer, the kick and the pitch, that one high and away. 1-2 to Edenfield. If he reaches Evan Voigt, the center fielder on deck for the Mustangs. Palmer looks in, the kick and the pitch. This one is hit in the air on a line to right field. That's a 2-out base hit. Rounding second, heading for third is Gasebauer. The throw comes in, should be in time. No call from the umpire.
Called him safe.
Did call him safe, yes.
Very lackluster call, but
certainly
good
was. I
slide there by Gasebauer, getting to the outside of third base. The throw is on the home plate side of the third base bag, and having to reach back to make the tag there was the third baseman for Albert Gallatin, Darien Palmer. And good job by Gasebauer coming in on the outside of the base, able to sneak in. Ball was there in plenty of time, but he was able to do that, and that allows Edenfield to get down to second on the throw.
Number 16.
It was a strong throw by the right fielder, but you're exactly right, Gary. Gasebauer gets in there, and heading to second is Edenfield. The batter is now Evan Voigt, the center fielder, number 16, left-hand hitting batter. So the Mustangs, all with 2 outs, they've scored a run to tie it at 1. Now they have 2 runners in scoring position with 2 outs and a half swing and a miss by Voigt. 1-1.
Voigt has been a bit of a pleasant surprise for the coaching staff of the Mustangs, showing good power and really putting the ball in play with some efficiency here late in the season. Earned him a spot in the batting lineup.
Certainly good to see him hitting the ball well, hitting 300 on the year. This one fouled out of play. 2 strikes on Voigt, the center fielder today, his 11th game played. 3 hits in 10 at-bats. Here's the pitch. That one inside. Jerking out of the way is Voigt.
He'll be available in the event the Mustangs need pitching help.
Absolutely.
Along with McManus, Lancaster, host of other Mustangs that will be available here.
That one low in the dirt, dug out by Halaki, and just like that, the count is full at 3 balls and 2 strikes to Evan Voigt. Mustangs with some 2-out rallying here in the bottom of the first. Palmer's 3-2, the kick and the come home. This one grounded to third. Third baseman bobbles it but makes the play. Palmer over to first. To Dylan over to retire the side. 5-3. The Mustangs strand 2, but they do get a run with 2 outs and through 1 to the second. Albert Gallatin 1, Laurel Highlands 1. Back after this with the second inning of play. The law firm of Radcliffe and Diaz High School Sports Day on WMBS, the MSA Sports Network, and the South Union Township Sports Network.
Important for people to know that we represent injured people to the best of our ability, and we've been successful doing that. And I don't say that to have people come to see us because we have been successful. I say that because it's true, and it's important.
Another important aspect is the experience that we have is local experience in the court system in Uniontown, in Washington, in Waynesburg.
Davis & Davis, attorneys at law.
Welcome back to WMBS, the MSA Sports Network in the South Union Township Sports Network. Nick Barczyk, Gary Frankhauser, Jerry DuPage, Joe Salzone back at WMBS Central. High school baseball, Laurel Highlands, Albert Gallatin both plating runs in the first. It is 1-1 as we head to the second. Hudson Novak on the hill for a second inning of work.
Albert Gallatin, number 1, Austin Bergman.
And the batter is Austin Bergman. The right fielder hits from the left-hand side of the plate, number 1. Takes a ball outside, 1-0.
Due up for Albert Gallatin, Austin Bergman, R.J. Halatke, and Colby Uphold. Turn the order over for Nate Bricker in the hole.
If anyone reaches Bricker, would come back up again, the top of the Colonials batting order. That pitch hits the strike zone, 1-1. This top half of the second, by the way, being brought to you by Ron Landman for North Union Township Supervisor Ron Landman, bringing us the top half of the second.
Second pitch low and outside, 2-1.
Novak kicks and comes home, the 2-1 to Bergman. Chops that one foul out of play. And the count at 2-2.
So it must have been just a little bit of a front or something going through as the wind's completely stopped again.
Yeah, it has. Could be like that most of the day, though. Some on again, off again wind, but we do know blue sky is overhead, white puffy clouds, sun shining. That is a welcome sight after the rainy weather we've had. And just like that, a 3-2 pitch coming from Novak. It's fouled out of play by Bergman.
I think I said Hudson may have been going to Lockhaven. It's actually LaRoche.
Okay, LaRoche College.
Yes, and I apologize for that.
LaRoche College in Pittsburgh. That one is low and away outside for a leadoff walk to begin the second to Bergman. And he's aboard with no outs. The batter now R.J. Halatke, the catcher.
Don't like to allow that leadoff runner to get on, and Hudson's a little frustrated with himself. Get in front of these batters and try to work outs in the first part of every inning.
Aren't many things that pitchers or managers hate more than leadoff walks. That one a bunt down the first base line. Play made by the first baseman McManus. That's a 3-4 putout. Going over to cover is the second baseman Josh Burns. That's a 3-4 sacrifice bunt. One out and the runner goes to second. Good bunt there by Halatke, yes.
Fundamentals all the way around on the offensive side. Good bunt by R.J. Halatke. Good hustle in there by McManus, and Burns covering all the way from second base. So like to see that on both sides. Good fundamentals.
Certainly good to see, and that's a check swing foul ball out of play. Hits the roof of the concession stand and then rolls underneath a truck. Hopefully everyone's okay. That off the bat of Colby Uphold.
Don't want to smash the chips up there.
That's right. Hopefully the hot dogs, pretzels, and chips are okay, and the gentleman's vehicle. Here's the 0-1 Uphold. Runner at second gets his lead. One out in the inning, 1-1 game. That one outside. Uphold, a left-hand hitting batter, second baseman. Novak in the stretch. Looks back at Bergman. Kicking the come home, swing and a miss. Strike two on Colby Uphold.
Hudson has a nice slide move to home, gets it to the plate very quickly, limits the opportunity for the runners to get any kind of advanced lead.
Certainly knows what he's doing on there on top of the rubber, and a good move back to second. Throw though late. Throw taken, certainly a strong throw, and it's taken by the shortstop Travis Sankovic. On the rubber in the stretch, looks back, the kick to come home from Novak. This one grounded to the shortstop Sankovic. Looks to third, but he makes the easy play at first. And a good pickup by McManus. That throw low, but a 6-3 putout, 2 away. And the runner Bergman to third.
Sankovic has a very strong arm. He thought about an opportunity to catch Bergman down at third base, but at the last second realized he did not have that opportunity, gunned it over to first. As you said, just a little bit low, but handled there by McManus. And 2 outs in the inning brings up Nate Bricker.
And good to see that Sankovic, as you mentioned, looked over to third and thought about his options, but then fired over to McManus for the easy 6-3 putout. Now 2 away, and the batter is Bricker. This one is fouled off down the third base line.
Good change of pace by Hudson Novak. Came with the off-speed curveball and had Bricker way out in front. Gets ahead 0-1.
Nothing better than the first pitch strike. It's the opposite of that leadoff walk. You like the 0-1 count to start. Obviously, any strike is a good one. That one just a tad low. 1-1 to the leadoff hitting center fielder Bricker. 0 for 1 with a fly out to center in this ball game.
Hudson's going to think about it a little bit. See, there's a little contemplation behind the rubber.
Yeah, it goes out to the infield grass, and now he's to the left side of the rubber. Now he comes on top of the hill. Novak taking his time, the kick and the come home. Well, it didn't work, to be honest, as it's outside for a ball, but he tried. 2-1 now to Bricker.
Got to be a little bit careful with Nate.
Hitting in that leadoff spot for a reason. Leadoff hitting center fielder for Ron Popovich's Colonials.
Now, gamesmanship by Bricker as he calls timeout.
That's right.
Steps out.
One of the beauties of baseball, those Mon games. Runner at third, 2 outs. The game's tied at 1. It's the second inning. Novak kicks and comes home. That one is a strike. It's dropped by the catcher, but still in the zone.
Doesn't get away too far. No chance to advance by Bergman. Ball just trickled a little bit to the right of Petrus.
The wind comes back again. So we have a helicopter in the distance. The 2-2 from Novak. A late swing, and that's grounded up the middle. To his left is the shortstop Sankovic for the second 6-3 putout of the inning. And that ends the top of the second with a man stranded at third. A couple of putouts by Sankovic, a sac bunt and a walk. No runs scored, no hits. We head to the bottom of the second. AG1 LH1, you're listening and watching high school baseball on WMBS, the MSA Sports Network, and the South Union Township Sports Network. Welcome back. The law firm of Radcliffe and Diaz High School Sports Day on WMBS, the MSA Sports Network, and the South Union Township Sports Network. Nick, Gary, Jerry, and Joe all a part of this broadcast. High school baseball, we head to the bottom of the second. The game's tied at 1 between Albert Gallatin and Laurel Highlands. This bottom half of the second inning being brought to you by Tracy Vargo for Recorder of Deeds in Fayette County. And Gary, a good start to this game. Each team with a first inning run, and we've seen some good pitching, some good strategy baseball with a nice sac bunt in the last inning by AG, and good start to this one.
Absolutely. Due up for the Mustangs, Richie Mehall, Josh Burns, and Tanner Minio.
Right-hander Willie Palmer, number 23, on top of the hill for the Colonials, and the first pitch is a strike to Rich Mehall. Richie Mehall, the left fielder today for the Mustangs. Where's number 19, right-handed batter? Check swing. Did he go? No appeal. They say that pitch out of the zone. 1-1. Palmer working very quickly. 1-1 at the knees for a strike. 1-2 to Richie Mehall. 7-8-9 this inning for the Mustangs, Gary.
And Richie took a look at that one, thought it might have been a little low. And now he swings at one in the dirt.
Swing and a miss that gets away from the catcher actually drops into the dirt, and he has to go chase it. 2-3 put out there to retire Mihal and record the strikeout. That's a swinging strikeout, 2-3 put out, one away. And the batter is Josh Burns, the second baseman for LH.
First strikeout for Willie Palmer.
Number 5, Josh Burns.
A couple of flyouts, a ground out, and now a strikeout. It is the first K. First K of the ball game, actually, for either Novak or Palmer. That's a strike to Burns.
Good cut there by Josh, just trying to give it a ride.
Palmer quickly, the 0-1. That one a bit low, 1-1. Burns, right-handed hitting second baseman, number 5, hitting 8th for Scott DeBerry today. Palmer looks into Halaki, shakes him off. He likes this one, the 1-1. Swing and a miss, 1-2 to Burns.
Came with a high fastball, that one, right up by the letters.
Some high heat. Palmer kicks in the 1-2 to come home. Swing and a miss and back-to-back strikeouts to begin the bottom half of the second. First 2 strikeouts of the game for either team. 2 away for Tanner Mineo.
Good mix there by Palmer, mixing the fastball and off-speed and coming with the curve ahead in the count, having both Mihal and Burns way out in front.
Number 3, Tanner Mineo.
Tanner Mineo to the plate now. Good pitching by Palmer, as Gary mentioned, to begin this inning, and working quickly and efficiently, and that's the dream of any defender behind him, any coach as well, and 2 quick strikeouts as he works to Arminio.
Outfield straightaway and shallow.
Yes, they are.
A little high fastball called a strike.
That pitch did get the strike call, a tad high, as Gary mentioned. Now the kick and the come home from Palmer. That one's high, 2-1. Herminio, the third baseman, number 3, 9th hitter for the Mustangs, facing the quick working, efficient Willie Palmer. That one at the knees, just missed for ball 3.
And Palmer thought that one was a strike, so
yeah.
Turnabout.
Has to come back and face a 3-ball count, and this one on the ground to second base. Second baseman to his left bobbles it, and the throw to first is not in time. We'll maybe give that an error, maybe an infield single will go to Gary for that one, but a tough play by Kobe Uphold to make. Bobble the ball to his left and not in time to throw out Arminio.
We'll give Tan a single on that one. It was way to the left-hand side of the second baseman for Albert Gallatin, Kobe Uphold, and it would have been a really good play had he been able to make it. So we'll call that a base hit.
So an infield single with 2 outs for Arminio. Good effort there by Kobe Uphold. Now the lead by Arminio being held on by Over. That pitch fouled off the bat.
Hudson Novak turns the order over.
Yep.
Gives Hudson another opportunity here. Putting him in the leadoff spot, giving him as many at-bats as possible. Coach DeBerry trying to take advantage of his productivity.
Absolutely, that's the case. And the throw over in the dirt and late by Palmer. A good scoop by Over, with Arminio getting a modest lead.
Good speed at first with Arminio.
Another quick throw over, not in time, but a good snag and tag applied by Dylan Over. Top of the order, Hudson Novak. Chad Petrish is behind the plate but not hitting, so the lineup turns over to Hudson Novak, 0-for-1 with a flyout. Another throw over, they got him. 1-3, we may have a run down here. Over, throws over to the shortstop. Simon, now Simon running him back and sliding in safely. And a good job to beat that run down is Arminio. That was supposed to go if AG had their way, 1-3-6, but Arminio gets in safely. Gary back at first.
Well, Simon a little late on the throw as Palmer came over from the pitcher's mound to cover first after his first baseman.
And he may have hurt his hand there, Gary, talking to the first base coach. Yeah,
jammed it on the bag, sliding in head first, but Alatke had the play. Arminio going on first movement just took off, and a good pickoff by Willie Palmer had him dead to rights, and the rundown just did not work. He's back at first.
The He is back at first, doesn't get out, but he doesn't gain any ground either. And now he's taking off. That one low and away, snug out by Halaki. Throw down. He is safe. Sliding in safely past the tag is Erminio, and he finally gets that stolen base. Good throw by Halaki, and the catch and tag applied by the second baseman. That's Colby Uphold, but not in time.
Aggressive base running there with Erminio going on back-to-back pitches, putting him in scoring position for Hudson.
That pitch, off-speed pitch, rides high and outside. 2-1 to Novak. 1-1 ball game. Pretty good pace, bottom of the second. Palmer threw over to Uphold. He wasn't on the bag. Back in safely as Erminio sliding. Two-1 to Novak. The kick and the come home from Palmer. That's an off-speed pitch high. 3-1.
So Hudson, good eye at the plate, looking for something that he can drive or at least get into the outfield, as the outfield plays very deep for Hudson. Any single will easily score Erminio.
Absolutely, with 2 outs, 3-ball count. That one popped up down the line, over, giving it a look, straddling the line. Now goes to his left and foul ground, drops the ball in foul territory. Dylan Over did all he could, backpedaling, but hits his glove and drops out, so that's just a foul ball.
I'll have to rule an error on that, but I
unfortunately
think that was an issue with the wind there. It looked like he was swirled around 3 different ways when he was trying to get under it. Did get his glove on it, but could not squeeze it. So Hudson Novak has life. This is the kind of thing that really will
take advantage of this. If you're LH and Hudson Novak, that pitch inside for ball 4 and a walk.
So what would have been the third out turns into first and second with 2 outs after 2 strikeouts to start the inning. Erminio with the...
We have a courtesy runner coming on, Gary, for Novak. It'll be...
It's Lancaster.
Yes, sir, Lancaster.
Courtesy runner from Laurel Highlands, number 2.
So Erminio with that ground ball between first and second that he was able to leg out, gets the second on a stolen base, and Hudson Novak works the walk, brings up Sankovic with an opportunity.
Some more 2-out magic maybe for LH. This one fouled off the catcher Halaki. He's okay. The batter is, as Gary mentioned, Travis Sankovic, 0 for 1 with a fly out back in the first. As the wind starts to whip around again, and no wonder that Dylan Over had some trouble catching that ball in foul ground. It's going to be tough to catch pop-ups here if this wind continues. Palmer's 0-1 pitch. Now 0-2, fouled off to the right.
So 2 curveballs to lead off Sankovic. Now way ahead in the count, Palmer can try to waste one here.
See what he does. He looks back at second. Shortstop fake breaks into second base. That pitch in the dirt, but good job by R.J. Halaki keeping it off the backstop.
Great
Runners
job
hold.
there by Halaki. Had to go to his left and basically Marc-Andre Fleury.
I was just going to say, that was a Fleury Murray-esque play. And if you're a Capital fan, I guess a Braden Holtby type play, but we won't go there. This one fouled off to the left. Halaki looking for it.
Another
but
vehicle.
It's out of play. Another vehicle. Could be a victim. Good thing it's not someone getting bopped on the head, but a car. We don't want any dents today either. So Sankovic holding tough. Some more 2-out rallying for the Mustangs. 1-1, bottom of the second. The 1-2 from Palmer. The kick to come home high, 2-2.
Good eye there by Sankovic. Anxious in there with 2 strikes, but that one well out of the zone.
Wielding the bat, left-hand hitter, Travis Sankovic. Gase Bauer on deck. First and second, 2 outs the pitch, off speed. That one in the dirt. Halaki snares it. Another 3-ball count. 3-2.
That'll get the runners moving on the pitch. Just be careful that he goes to the plate. Playing behind the runner at first, so no problem there. And he'll send him. He's going to step off and make sure they don't get too much of a lead.
Yeah, Palmer, he knows that they're off as soon as he fires the ball towards home plate. 3-2, 2 outs. Erminio at second, Novak at first. That pitch is inside for ball 4, and after 2 strikeouts, a single and 2 walks, and now the base is full of Mustangs for Derek Gasebauer.
And this is also adding to the pitch count for Willie Palmer.
Absolutely.
Just in the bottom of the second, you got to believe he's close to 40 pitches.
I had the pitch counter with me, had so much going on today. Shame on me for 6 weeks. I don't think I brought it, but
Right fielder.
probably somewhere back at WMBS Central. So the base is loaded, 2 outs, bottom of the second, 1-1. The batter is Derek Gasebauer. He's walked and stolen a base. He could be a second inning hero for the Mustangs here. He takes a strike 0-1.
Walk back in the first, came around to score the only run for the Mustangs so far.
Does have a run. That one misses.
Inside, almost took it for the team there.
Yeah. Jason Kendall-esque there, maybe leaning in to get on base any way you can. It's a dated reference. Have to come up with another one. That one grounded to third and past the third baseman. That's a fair ball. We have 1 run coming home. Scoring from second will be Novak. The throw to the plate, not in time. 2 runs come home for the Mustangs, and that one in back of third, a tough play. Darien Palmer couldn't make it, and 2 runs come home. It's 3-1 Mustangs.
Well, the air bug has come to haunt Albert Gallatin now here in the second inning. The pop-up that would have ended the inning by Hudson Novak, and now ground ball behind third. It would have been an easy put out at third had the third baseman Palmer been able to pull that one in, but results in 2 runs for the Mustangs.
Absolutely. Scoring is Novak and Arminio. And now breaking for third. We may have to call that defensive indifference.
Well, or that the pitcher failed to check the runner.
Yeah.
So now we have first and third with 2 outs.
So Sankovic at third. Gasebauer holds at first. Off his bat, scored the 2 runs. 3-1. Mason McManus is the batter. 1 for 1 with a single. He's playing at first today. 1 in the first 2 so far in the second for the Mustangs. Getting back is Gasebauer. Quick throw over from Palmer. Over, holding him on at first.
McManus with the first inning RBI has an opportunity to add to that.
Palmer checks at first. Kicks and comes home out of the stretch. Check swing, but a called strike anyway. To McManus. It's 0-2. On deck if needed, Ian Edenfield. Palmer looks in and he steps off as he maybe had an issue with the signs that R.J. Halaki was putting down. Now he's set to go. The pitch fouled off to the left. Off to the races was Gasebauer from first.
Mustangs aggressive on the base pads here early. Now we're going to have a conference at the mound.
Yeah, the first baseman over, the catcher Halaki, the pitcher Palmer, just 3. Now maybe the infielders, all of them coming in, uphold the shortstop Simon, third baseman Palmer. As the outfielders will look on, infielders, pitcher, catcher, coach come on, and we'll talk this one over. Here as we play in the bottom half of the second, 3-1 Mustangs, 1 in the first and 2 in the second. Colonial scored a run back in the first and were retired in the second without scoring.
Popovich probably going over what the Colonials will do if Gasebauer takes off. With 2 outs, you might as well try to throw him out.
Absolutely.
But big meeting.
Yeah, that was a big meeting. Big board meeting there on the mound. The infielders, pitcher, catcher, manager Ron Popovich coming in. I'm happy I haven't called him Greg Popovich yet, Gary. But Ron Popovich, different sport completely. Now the throw over, and lackadaisically getting back is Gasebauer. So big doings here. First and third, 2 outs, and now they have him dead, you would think. Throw over to the shortstop. Now we have a play at the plate. They throw down, safe, and the Mustangs get a run.
Well, the old hang-up play,
That's
and it
right.
works, as coming in to score from third base was Sankovic, as he just took off right away once the ball was in the hands of the shortstop out there. That's number 13, Adam Simon.
Yes.
And so Coach DeBerry putting on the hang-up play as soon as the pitcher went into the stretch. Gaisbauer just kind of walked off of first base to get himself into a rundown, and it works to score a run for the Mustangs.
Absolutely great base running, and now heading down to third. And sliding in safely, that's Derek Gaisbauer. He has a stolen base, and the Mustangs, I guess you can call it small ball, very good base running. They fool the Colonials to score a run. They now have 3 in the inning. It's 4-1, and another runner 90 feet away.
He's kind of losing a little bit of concentration. Willie Palmer gets a strikeout, though, to end the inning.
Certainly does. That's a called strike 3. Not happy as McManus, but the Mustangs are happy with 3 runs in the inning on a couple of hits, couple of walks, and they strand a man, but they get 3. We head to the third. It's 4-1 Mustangs. We'll be back with the third after this. You're listening and watching the law firm of Radcliffe and Diaz High School Sports Day on WMBS, the MSA Sports Network, and the South Union Township Sports Network.
Esophageal reflux affects 20% of Americans and can lead to heartburn, regurgitation, chest pain, and difficulty swallowing. Reflux is caused by stomach contents passing a faulty valve and entering the esophagus. Ulcers and precancerous tissue can then form. Offer the latest testing and treatment for reflux disease. SWGI, specialists in digestive health.
Tom Lamb Field, we're ready for the top half of the third inning. Gary Frankhauser, along with Nick Barczyk, Jerry Chapay on the camera. Mustangs with the lead now, 4-1. Stepping in for Albert Gallatin, Adam Simon, the shortstop, singled back in the first, came around to score the run for Albert Gallatin. Takes the first pitch outside for a ball. This one's on the outside corner for a strike. So 1-1 is the count as Hudson Novak remains on the mound for the Mustangs. Shakes off the first, takes the second sign, rocks and deals, and fouls it back. Was Simon back over the right side of the backstop.
4-1 ball game now. Gary, the Mustangs on top. This inning being brought to you by Peachin's Pharmacy inside the Peachin Superfood Mart.
1-2 count. Novak, fastball, just getting a piece there was Simon hanging in there. Ball was by him. He just got a little piece as he made the swing.
That one caught the catcher, Chad Petrish.
So he'll walk out to the mound, give himself a little break, and Dick Witt behind the plate will clean things off. Little baseball courtesy.
Absolutely. Good to see that. The old traditions of baseball holding up, and Novak looks ready to go on the pitch to Simon.
1-2 pitch on the way. Just outside. 2-2.
Off speed there, just missed.
Hudson looking for a quick inning here after the Mustangs able to post the 3 runs in the bottom of the second to take the 4-1 lead. 2-2 count now as Novak from the windup, curveball just a little high that time, runs the count full. And Novak is going to ask where that one was.
Like Dick Witt to tell him where that was. That one was indeed. And good to see as well, Gary, all 4 of the Mustangs runs coming with 2 outs, some 2-out rallying here, and Novak's ready to go. 3-2 pitch, and that's fouled back off of Petrus and Dick Witt. They both took it off the mask. Yeah, catcher Petrus taking a beating here so far in the third.
That one goes back into the high grass on the bank in front of the bleachers. Novak now looking to continue to throw strikes. That's just outside. So a leadoff walk for Adam Simon.
Second time Simon's been on base today, 1 for 1 with a single and a walk and a run.
Puts the Colonials in business here in the top of the third. Looking to try to answer that 3-run bottom of the second by the Mustangs. Mustang outfield playing very deep, especially in center field.
Evan Voyton playing very deep. You're right, Gary, in center for the Mustangs.
Fastball high and tight. I'm not going to say it did hit him. Kind of nicked his shirt. So that was Cappellini stepping in. And he's going to be the victim of a hit by pitch. Didn't catch much of him, but enough to get him down at first base. He's going to shake it off, and now he is rubbing his left arm, and so that must have grazed him a little more firmly than I thought.
Yeah. I don't think he got the brunt of that, but still maybe coming up a little gimpy there with the hit by pitch. So Novak, not the best start to the third inning. A walk and a hit batter. First and second, nobody out for AG, and the tying run coming to the plate when we resume. Now meeting on the mound.
Coach DeBerry giving a talking to Hudson Novak, probably just telling him, hey, don't try anything crazy. Just try to throw strikes, get things. And now he's got a smile out of Hudson. So
that's good to see.
2 on, nobody out. And they'll bring up Willie Palmer, the pitcher for Albert Gallatin. Flew out to center field his first time up. I'm sorry, that was the time that he got on an error. I'm sorry, went over the center fielder's head.
Correct,
Actually
yes.
Scored the first run.
That's right, a misplay by the LH center fielder led to that run off the bat.
Squares around like he's going to bunt and takes ball 1 outside. So rotation was on again there for the Mustangs as McManus charged from first. Burns covers first.
He certainly did gallop in there quickly, did McManus, and Burns was over to cover.
Arminio's going to stay on third, I believe, and depend on Hudson Novak to field that third base side of the infield for a bunt.
Mustangs know what they're doing defensively here against the bunt with 2 on and 0 out in the third.
Palmer squaring again now. Arminio and Hudson Novak's going to step off. Didn't like what was going on there. A lot of movement in the infield. Might have distracted him a little bit when he's trying to throw strikes, so he will step back and redo it. Novak now toes the rubber from the stretch. Gets the signal. Palmer has not. Now he does square around, and Novak will step off again.
Playing those mind games all day long here. Pitcher against pitcher. Palmer, the starter today for the Colonials, now
might be a 5-yard penalty.
Yeah, might
delay
be.
Of game.
Absolutely. 5 yards, still first down. So Novak battling his mound opponent here, and he squares, Gary.
1-0 pitch, and there's the bunt, and it's foul down the first base line. So good pitch there by Hudson Novak to get the strike now 1-1 after what appeared to be about a 10-minute break after the meeting with Coach DeBerry, and a couple pitches now to Palmer. Novak getting the signals from his battery mate Petrus, who comes out in front of home plate to signal to his infield what play they want to run in the event of the bunt.
We have signs from Popovich, the base coach at third, signs from the catcher Petrus, and now squaring again in the corner's charge.
And now we have the fake bunt and a fly ball to right field. Gaisbar fighting the sun. He'll make the play, tag at second. Now throw down to third. Could be in time, but no, two-hopper not in time. And that allows Adam Simon to tag from second to get to third. And very smartly, Jace Cappellini also tags from first and gets to second. So the first out of the inning results in pretty much the same thing as a sacrifice, as a fly ball to right field. Derek Gaisbauer, and that will bring up Darien Palmer, the third baseman for Albert Gallatin, with second and third and one out.
And Gary, they just checked at first to see if the runner who moved from first to second, Cappellini, did so by tagging, and the umpire on the bases says yes, he waited. That ball hung up so long that both runners able to tag. Wasn't a sac bunt for Palmer, but a sacrifice really nonetheless. Second and third, one out.
Here's the first pitch to Darien on the outside corner for a strike. And back to that fly ball. Gaisbauer really fighting the high sky and the sun. Made a nice play to make the catch. Made a relatively strong throw to the third, but a long throw. Not able to get the runners tagging. There's the 0-1 pitch, fouled straight back. 0-2.
And the sun popping out now again. The last few moments it was behind a cloud, but when the ball was in the air and Gaisbauer was fighting it, as you mentioned, Gary, the sun was pretty vicious in his eyes, but still made the catch.
0-2 pitch There's a line shot to center field. Voighton now looks like he has it. He'll make the catch, tagging from third, and looks like he'll score easily. That is Adam Simon to add the second run for Albert Gallatin. Makes the score now 4-2. Second out, fly ball to center field. Holding it second on the play was Cappellini, and that will bring up Dylan Over with 2 outs. And still a runner in scoring position for the Colonials.
Pretty good poke by Palmer, but it hung up there for Voighton. An easy tag and score for Simon to cut the lead in half at 4-2. LH here in the third.
Novak fastball in there for a strike. Hudson cuts it loose. He has pretty good velocity on that fastball.
Certainly does. Over 0 for 1 with a fly out. Checking on the runner.
Cappellini. Yep. There's a swing and a foul back against the screen. So once again, Novak works ahead, 0-2. What do we have now? Catcher's interference.
Yeah, that's a call you don't see every day, but Over trotting down to first with a smile on his face. That is a catcher's interference.
Wow.
On Petrush.
Must have just caught the catcher's mitt.
I certainly didn't see it. But
he's explaining it to Hudson Novak, who now will not have the benefit of the 0-2 count. And I didn't catch that right away, but Palmer looked back as he fouled that off, and he noticed that he just barely touched Petrus's glove, and that's going to bring up Austin Bergman with now first and second.
Yeah, so Dylan Over gets awarded first, and
there's a fly ball, shallow left field, and Richie Mihal coming over and can't make the catch. Hits off the heel of his glove, and that's going to hold 2 runners, but wow. Not sure why the runners were not taking off on the fly ball, but scoring on the play is going to be Cappellini.
Yes, Cappellini scores to make it 4-3.
And that would be a costly error to make it 4-3, and now runners at first and third with 2 outs.
And Mihal did all he could going over to his left, but couldn't make the play. But yeah, with 2 outs, you're taught, of course, even at the Little League level, to go on contact with 2 outs. Over still at third. It's 4-3.
Richie was there in plenty of time to make the catch, but just kind of caught it on the heel of his glove and let it fall to the turf. So both teams being generous with the errors, allowing runs to come in. Mustangs the beneficiary of 2 in the bottom of the second. And now Albert Gallatin taking advantage of some walks, a hit batsman, and now the error. Fastball in for a strike to R.J. Halatke.
So just like the Mustangs, Gary, the Colonials trying to capitalize here with 2 outs. And
there's a little ground ball to short. Sankovic over to Burns to end the inning and the threat, but not before Albert Gallatin plates 2 of their own here in the top of the third. We'll go to the bottom of the third on WMBS, the MSA Sports Network, and the South Union Township Sports Network.
At what point did everything change? When did service get taken out of service industries? It's too bad, because people are busy these days. At life, at work, at play. When it comes to your hard-earned money, you want service. Real service. From a person you know and a face you trust. At a bank where changing with the times doesn't mean leaving people behind. We're proud to be a part of your community. We're United Bank, at your service.
Here we go with the bottom half of the third inning. Mustangs now clinging to a 4-3 lead after Albert Gallatin answered the 3 runs by the Mustangs in the bottom of the second with 2 of their own in the top of the third. Due up for the Mustangs, Ian Edenfield, Evan Voighton, and Richie Mihal. Still on the mound for Albert Gallatin, Willie Palmer.
So as Palmer starts his third inning of work, this bottom half of the third with the Mustangs up 4-3, being brought to you by Russ Blejo, your local Allstate insurance agent. Remember, you're in good hands with Russ Blejo and Allstate.
Little delay here as the catcher for Albert Gallatin gets his tools back on.
The tools of ignorance, I believe they've been called over the years.
Right.
Johnny Bench. Did he coin that term, or was that even back before him?
I'm not sure. It sounds like a Yogi Berra-ism.
Yogi Berra, yeah. Not surprising Yogi coined that one when he wasn't watching Bill Mazeroski's home run go over the left field wall in 1960. He was playing left field that day, but of course most famously known as a catcher. So the AG backstop is back behind the plate. R.J. Halaki, Palmer on the mound in the bottom of the third, about ready to go.
Here's Ian Edenfield. Singled back in the first. Edenfield versus Palmer. First one is in there for a ball low, I believe.
Yep, that was a pitch low out of the zone, ball one. To the batter, Edenfield.
Wind up and the pitch. Fastball fouled off to the right side. Up onto the bank towards the track here at the campus at Laurel Highlands, Tom Landman Field. And
Gary, campus alive today. A lot of people watching this game, and I'm sure some activities happening up on the football field and the track on this spring afternoon.
Off speed inside, 2-1 now to Edenfield. As we suspected, pretty substantial crowd here for the Albert Gallatin Laurel Highlands game. And there's a shot to the right side. That looks like it's going to curve foul out of play, and it does. Making chase down the right field line, first baseman Dylan Over, but that one was well out of play.
Second baseman uphold on the right fielder as well. Austin Bergman gave chase, but falls out of play. Bermuda Triangle out there, but no play on the ball.
2-2 offer on the way. Swing and a miss. Strike three to Edenfield.
Third strikeout for Palmer today through 2 1/3.
I believe that's the fourth.
Is it?
Ended the inning.
1, 2, 3.
Ended the inning last inning.
That's
with
right.
The strikeout to McManus, and that's going to bring up Voighton.
That is the fourth.
Center fielder Evan Boynton.
The one to McManus was a looking strikeout, a backward K there on the card. I was missing that one. So 4 strikeouts for Palmer through 2 1/3.
Palmer comes with a high knuckleball. High and outside to Voighton, his first offering. 1-0 pitch, fastball now half swing, just jabs it over toward the Colonial dugout.
Did a good Tim Wakefield impression there with the knuckle.
And good pitch to mix in for a high school pitcher.
Certainly is. Was working very quickly earlier on in the game, but
1-1 count. And there's a shot towards shortstop. Now a bad hop just catches him inside the chest there. Shortstop Adam Simon just caught an in-between hop off the edge of the grass infield.
Yeah.
And that's going to go as an error, but
they've hit a pebble.
On at first is Evan Voighton.
Yeah, tough hop there for Adam Simon. A routine play for the shortstop, but couldn't make the play. And with one out, Voighton's aboard for Richie Mihal.
Mihal struck out back in the second. Throw over, back in is Voighton. Not much of a lead. Back in standing. Outfield straight away for Richie Mihal with one out in the inning. Palmer from the stretch, checks the runner. Comes home on the outside corner for a strike to Richie. Richie looking for something that he can put in play.
Take advantage of that error if you're the Mustangs, just like they've done earlier in the game and the Colonials have.
1-0 pitch, just a little low and outside. I'm sorry, now it's 1-1. First pitch was a strike.
Hard to tell with our vantage point and some of the calls by Dick Witt. Not incredibly enthusiastic with the ball and strike calls today.
That's his modus of operandi. There's a ball in the dirt. He's always been like that, and that's going to allow Voighton to come into second. He's an excellent umpire, though.
Certainly.
Been doing it a very long time, and he just has his own style.
Some guys are like that.
His own style, and
some
that's
of the
what
veterans
he's gonna stick with it.
Yeah, Tim McClellan and Joe West, some of the veteran umpires in Major League Baseball come to mind that are lackadaisical, but those are sometimes some of the better umpires.
2-1, and there's a foul ball just at home plate. Dribbles off to the right side. Runs the count even, 2-2 with one out. Voighton now down at second. Mustangs leading 4-3 here in the bottom half of the third inning. Richie now digs in. Palmer comes to the plate. That's low and outside. Full count.
And obviously a big pitch coming up here. The Mustangs up a run, third inning. Man in scoring position, and Palmer.
Josh Burns on deck for the Mustangs.
Palmer taking his time here, you'd think, against Meehaw.
Uphold jockeying back and forth, trying to hold the runner close. There's a pop-up. Could be playable, but no, just gets out of play here right by the Mustang dugout on the first base side. So Meehaw has life. Albert Gallatin outfield now playing somewhat shallow. Here's the pitch. There's a shot up the middle. No, right at the second baseman. And nice play there by Uphold at second base to retire Richie Meehaw. That was a hot shot as it took a huge bounce, and Uphold was able to pull it in. Throw over to first baseman Dylan Over for the second out of the inning. On the play, moving down to third was Voighton, and now Josh Burns will have a chance with Voighton down at third.
Certainly a very good play by Uphold, going to his left on a hop and makes the 4-3 put out, but the runner does advance to third, and all up now to the Mustangs, Josh Burns, who's 0 for 1.
Struck out also back in the second as Palmer starts him off with that knuckleball. Will go from the windup with the runner on third. Takes ball 2 up high. Josh Burns with a good eye.
Mustangs look to plate another unearned run here after Voighton reached on the error on the shortstop, Simon.
There's ball 3, low and in the dirt. So Burns probably will be taking in this situation with Tan Erminio on deck.
He's 1 for 1 with a single and a run, and big pitch here, 3-0 to Burns.
That's in for a strike, belt high. Green light now for Josh Burns to pick one out and single in a run. And there's a shot into center field. That's going to be way back in the gap. Bricker's not going to get to this one. That one hops the fence, and Josh Burns powers up and hits it to deep left center field for a double and brings in
Evan
Voighton, who was down at third. So the Mustangs do add to their lead now, 5-3. Josh Burns with a long drive to the deepest part of the field.
And another 2-out hit, another 2-out RBI for the Mustangs. The error turns into a run. Big double for Burns. That one kept carrying, and one hops the fence in deep left center field. It's 5-3, Laurel Highlands.
And Erminio steps in, takes ball 1, and the outfield was playing very shallow.
Yes.
And Burns took advantage.
Erminio at the plate, he has a run. A single and a run, all with 2 outs. The Mustangs have been doing most of their damage with 2 outs today. They have a 2-run lead here in the third, and
takes a strike for 1-1. Burns now in scoring position as Palmer from the stretch brings it home to Erminio. There's a little looper in the left field. That's going to be a fair ball, and that's going to go to the corner of the left field wall, and he's going to be in for a double, but now they're going to call it foul. Wow.
So the initial call was fair, and then when he gets to second, they rule a foul ball.
Well, I was watching Coach DeBerry. We didn't have a good look at Dick Witt behind the plate, and DeBerry was waving him in, so I just assumed that it was a fair ball.
Absolutely.
And
I thought I saw a fair ball call, but apparently not. Is that one hard to tell, that left field line down the line? Obviously, we're here on the other side of the field.
So Burns is back at second. Erminio back at the plate now with a count at 0-2 or 1-2, I believe. Tried to call timeout and
was not granted.
Luckily fouls it back.
That was not granted. Too late.
Erminio trying to gather himself, tried to call timeout, was not granted. He had to regroup and foul that one back.
It's a good lesson. Just because if you're a batter, you call time, it's not necessarily going to be granted your way, and it wasn't that time. But he knocked that one out of play.
So Nathan Tan Erminio at the plate trying to get Burns in, and he will step back to second on the fake throw there by Palmer.
Some mind games with Palmer and Burns.
Good strike.
1-2. That's low and in the dirt. 2-2.
Palmer looks in, and big pitch coming here to Tan Arminio. The Mustangs look to add on, already up 2.
Arminio concentrating. Curveball, and there's a little looper down the left field line. Is that one going to be fair? It is, and they're going to send the runner again. This time it is called fair. And Tan Arminio, a stick-to-itiveness that gets him the RBI single to left.
I like that stick-to-it-withness. I think I butchered it, but Gary said it right. A little looper there down the left field line. It's a fair ball that time, and Burns scores. Arminio gets another single, 2 for 2. It's now 6-3. Mustangs doubling up the Colonials. And this may be it for Willie Palmer. Here comes Ron Popovich.
Coach Popovich will come out to the mound and hasn't made a decision yet. But
no, I thought he would just take the ball from him pretty quickly.
I think he is. The right fielder is coming in, so you got to believe that he's going to be stepping in to pitch for Albert Gallatin. And with this pitching change, we'll take a timeout on a Radcliffe and DeHaas baseball afternoon on WMBS, the MSA Sports Network, and the South Union Township Sports Network.
Centers for Rehab Services, CRS, a part of UPMC and the Center for Sports Medicine, is a proud sponsor of the South Union Township Sports Network and its coverage of area youth sports. Make Centers for Rehab Services your choice for all of your physical and occupational therapy needs. CRS, located at 160 Wayland Smith Drive, provides physical therapy, occupational therapy, work injury programs, and hand therapy. Valuing patient satisfaction is one of their highest priorities. Centers for Rehab Services offers a patient-centered environment where each patient has an individualized treatment plan developed for their specific needs. They are experts in helping you recover from injuries, increase strength, and build endurance. CRS professionals have become highly skilled through a strong commitment to continuing education and advanced certifications to ensure the most cutting-edge and cost-effective treatment for their patients. Jim Burns, a lifetime Uniontown area resident, is a licensed physical therapist and facility director of the Uniontown location, as well as a field faculty instructor for Duquesne University and for the University of Pittsburgh School of Physical Therapy. He invites you to stop by his state-of-the-art location and discuss your rehabilitation needs. Center for Rehab Services is participating with most insurance plans, including all Highmark products, UPMC Health Plan, and Medicare. Available 5 days a week and offering extended hours for patient convenience. Patients are seen within 24 to 48 hours, and walk-ins are always welcome. Patients may also be seen through direct access, which does not require a physician's prescription. CRS worked with physicians and other healthcare providers to help you find relief, live your life again, and get you back into the game. For more information, call CRS at 724-437-7500. Where you treat for physical therapy is always your choice, so ask for Centers for Rehab Services. It's your health, it's your choice.
Welcome back to Tom Landman Field. A pitching change for the Colonials, now trailing 6-3 after the hit by Tan Arminio. Brings in Josh Burns for the 6th run for the Mustangs. Coming in to pitch for Albert Gallatin is number 1, Austin Bergman. And we're waiting for the Colonials to take their positions to try to figure out where everyone's going to end up. I think that's Uphold going out to right field.
Yeah, I believe it is. Number 17 goes from second to right.
And it looks like Darien Palmer goes to second base.
Yes, Gary Austin Bergman coming in number 1, left-handed batter, a southpaw. He's a junior for the Colonials. 4.26, 4.26 ERA, 1-2 and 3 decisions. His 6th appearance of the year, no saves.
And Hudson Novak steps in, flew out to center field and walked in the second. Came around to score the second run for the Mustangs.
So Bergman, some long relief here, trying to clean up the mess from Palmer at 6-3. Mustangs.
Novak takes ball 1 outside.
Of course, that runner on base, the responsibility of Willie Palmer. Bergman now the batter, Novak, his responsibility to begin his portion of the inning.
Pretty big lead down here for Herminio as Bergman steps back. Mustangs able to plate two more. There's a swing and a miss by Novak here in the third inning to answer right back as the Colonials put two on the board in the top of the third.
Novak at the plate 0 for 1 with a walk and a run. Looks to give the Mustangs another 2-out run.
There's a foul ball off the Colonial screen down there on the third base line. Makes it 1-2. Bergman pitched very well against the Mustangs their last meeting. Able to pick up that win down in Smithfield. And as the season went on, that pretty much was the beginning of the demise for the Mustangs. But it takes off was Herminio, and that's fouled off at the plate. Herminio had that one stolen by
absolutely
a long way. And
great jump with 2 outs.
Bergman went to the plate. Novak had to swing at it. It was close enough to the zone that he had to take a chop at it.
Can't fault him for that.
Fouled it at the plate. Let's see if Herminio takes off again. Might see a throw over this time from Bergman, and he does throw it over.
His eyes were wandering, and he did eventually throw it over to Over, who's covering first, and back in time, Herminio.
Over and over again.
That's right. Oh, Gary.
Herminio with the lead at first. Novak at the plate.
Stares him down again.
Step back and throws.
Ooh.
Tag on the heel.
I thought he got the heel tag down in time, Gary.
Well, it's close, but I've said all season, that's tough for the umpire who's positioned behind the pitcher to see any kind of a close tag like that.
Of course, only 2 umpires, 1 on the bases, 1 behind the dish here in high school play.
1-2 pitch now from Bergman. He comes to the plate. There's a shot to third and caught on a short hop by Willie Palmer. Throws it over to first base to Over, finally ending the inning. Hard shot by Hudson Novak. No luck, but the Mustangs able to put 2 more on the board. Now lead 6-3 on the Radcliffe and DeHaas, Baseball Afternoon on WMBS, the MSA Sports Network, and the South Union Township Sports Network.
Moving to the top of the 4th inning. It's now
You don't have to travel to Pittsburgh to get good representation. We've been doing it since 1976. We've been successful. We can help you right here at home.
We know the nuances of the legal system in Uniontown and Fayette County. We know the nuances of the legal system in Waynesburg and in Washington.
We know the system. We know where the courthouse is, and we know where to park. And at our office, you can park for free.
Davis & Davis, attorneys at law.
Here we go, back for the top half of the 4th inning. Mustangs now on top of the Colonials 6-3. Mustangs with 1 in the first, 3 in the second, and 2 in the third. Albert Gallatin 1 in the first and 2 in the third. Just 1 hit for Albert Gallatin so far. Beneficiary of a few errors. Well, 1 error by the Mustangs, some base on balls and a hit by pitch. Some timely hitting has got them their 3 runs. Stepping in for Albert Gallatin to start the top half of the 4th inning will be Colby Uphold.
to the top of the 4th inning for Albert.
Uphold does step in, and you're right, Gary, a 1-hitter for Hudson Novak. Only single, a 1-out single in the first for Adam Simon. 6-3 Mustangs in the 4th.
Foul ball on the first pitch from Hudson Novak. Oh, 1 pitch now. Novak still on the hill for the Mustangs. There's a swing and a miss for strike 2.
Uphold, left-hand batter. Quickly 2 strikes from Novak.
0-2 pitch, foul back. Remains 0-2. Got something a little askew here on our scorebook, but we'll figure that out. I know that Over was hit by a pitch, and then I'm not sure what Austin Bergman did. We'll have to figure that out. And there's a ground ball to Burns out there at second base. Not in time. As down the line quickly was Colby Uphold. Wow.
Infield single, some great hustling by Uphold. You're right. It was pretty much a routine play. Should have gone 4-3, and no fault there on Laurel Highlands and Josh Burns, but great hustling there by Uphold. And yes, Gary, we're looking quizzically at the scorebook. The hit by pitch was Darien Palmer, I believe, and Over made the last out on the fielder's choice. So Bergman should have hit there.
Well, no, Bergman, I think, had that hit that brought in the 2 runs.
All right.
I'm not sure. I have to remember that. There's a fastball on the outside part of the plate.
Don't know why I wouldn't have that, but
he brought in the runs for Simon and Cappellini. It was a fly ball.
Much easier keeping score when you're not doing a game, so I've learned that.
We'll figure that out.
You have to worry about the play-by-play and the color commentary.
Swing and a miss. That's strike 2. I'm sorry, 1-1 now. First pitch was low and outside to Nate Bricker. Coming to the plate, 0-2. Flew out to center and grounded to short. Fastball in the dirt. Good block there by Petrus.
Absolutely, to keep that off the backstop and hold at first. Being held on by McManus. So he gets a moderate lead.
0-2 pitch again. That's outside. I'm sorry, 2-2. The last pitch in the dirt was the first ball. Now 2-2 to Nate Bricker. Good waste pitches there by Hudson Novak. Just could not get Bricker to chase one of those. Big lead now for Uphold. You know he has speed. He got down that line in a hurry. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. I'm sorry. Now it's
strike
only 2. Wow.
I went with you. I thought it was only 3-1.
I thought I
think we're all fooled up here in the press box, Gary.
Well,
strike 2.
Blocked by a lot of things up here.
They have a camera, and
that one's high and tight for ball 4. So that's where I was.
From a strikeout to a walk.
Yes.
Nate Bricker reaches for the first time today.
So now 2 men on, nobody out. Adam Simon has reached his both attempts.
Yes, Simon had the first hit of the game.
And walked in the third.
So the tying run comes to the plate for the Colonials. Go-ahead run on deck. 6-3 LH in the fourth.
Shortstop, Adam Simon.
Bergman was the fly ball that was misplayed by Mihal out in left field.
A couple of misplays by Mustang outfielders and defenders today, but having to battle the wind and doing a decent job overall.
There's a bunt now right back to Novak, and he's going to have one play to first as Burns will cover, get the out at first, but good sacrifice there by Adam Simon. Moves the runners into second and third. That being Colby Uphold with the leadoff single and Nate Bricker with the walk following Uphold. Now second and third will bring up Cappellini.
And I love the small ball. Gary, another sacrifice bunt. Now second and third, one out for the Colonials. They have to take advantage with Cappellini at the dish.
Fastball way outside. Diving and making the catch was Petrus. Ball 1. Novak now deliberately getting the signals. Checks the runners, rocks and deals. Strike on the outside corner. Just let her high. Called a strike.
Coach Popovich at third, and the first base coach for the Colonials not happy with the call by Mr. Witt.
1-1 offering from Novak. That's in for a strike at the knees. 1 ball, 2 strikes now. Novak trying to.
Novak gets the high pitch and the low pitch.
Work this second out. Mustangs playing deep except up at the corners. Strike 3 called on the outside corner. And that will set down
Chase Cappellini.
He wasn't sure either.
He can't believe it.
So that is the strikeout looking by Hudson Novak. And looking at my scorebook, I believe that's the first strikeout for Hudson Novak.
Yes, it is. Hard to believe. Novak gets the strikeout. That's a backwards K.
And Palmer fouls the first one back for strike one. Willie Palmer now playing third base for the Colonials.
Go ahead, Gary.
Gets an opportunity with 2 runners in scoring position.
According to these stats I received this weekend, 12th strikeout of the year for Novak, first of the day.
0-1 opportunity, Novak to Palmer. He fouls that one back, so 0-2. Novak ahead in the count again, trying to work his way out of a 2-runner on, no-out situation here in the top half of the 4th inning, holding a 6-3 lead for the Mustangs. Here's a pitch. Ooh, just misses, and Petrus will hold that in that spot for a good 3 or 4 seconds.
Trying to frame it.
Looking back at the umpire, wanting to know where that one was out of the zone.
So Novak doesn't get that call, and Willie Palmer at the plate started the game on the mound for the Colonials. Does not want to be the pitcher of record for the loss today.
There's a curveball inside now, 2-2.
He's trying to help his cause.
Novak now, once again, getting the signal. Not worried about the runners. There's a pop-up in the infield. Novak's going to take it himself right in front of the pitcher's mound for the third out. And the Mustangs do work out of the inning with no runs, 1 hit, 2 men left on base for the Colonials. It's still 6-3. We head to the bottom of the 4th here on WMBS and the MSA Sports Network. You're watching the South Union Township Sports Network.
No runs scored at the top of the 4th for Gallatin, moving to the bottom of the.
Colon cancer is the second leading cause of cancer deaths. Signs include abdominal pain and rectal bleeding. Colon cancer develops from a degenerating benign growth or polyp. Doctors performing colonoscopy are able to remove precancerous polyps, thus preventing colon cancer. This saves lives, and the American Cancer Society now recommends that everyone have a colonoscopy every 10 years, beginning at age 50. Offer the latest diagnostic testing. SWGI, specialists in digestive health.
Back at Tom Lamon Field, Nick Barczyk, Gary Frankhauser, Jerry Dupay on the South Union Township Sports Network camera here in the booth at Laurel Highlands. Travis Sankovic will step in for the Mustangs, holding on to a 6-3 lead. Sank has flown out to center, walked, came around to score a run in the second, takes ball 1 low.
Thanks for joining us today. Joe Salzone back at WMBS Central, bottom of the 4th, 6-3. This inning being brought to you by General Dentist Dr. Edward Wietek.
Fastball high and outside, 2-0. Relief pitcher Austin Bergman came on last inning for the Colonials. Try to clean things up. 2-0 pitch. That's outside also, 3-0. I believe Sankovic got on a 4-pitch walk his last time up.
He did. A walk, a run, a fly out to center, 0 for 1, but he has factored in today, the shortstop for the Mustangs.
3-0 pitch. That's high and outside. So another 4-pitch walk puts Sankovic on with nobody out and Gasebauer coming to bat.
This time he's walked by the southpaw Bergman, first time up. Back in the second, his second at bat walked by Willie Palmer on 4, who's now at third. Second pitcher for AG. LH starter Hudson Novak still on the mound for the Mustangs for now.
Might see the Mustangs go to a little bit of a small ball opportunity to add to his 6-3 lead from the stretch. Bergman, he'll bring it to first. Back in diving is Sankovic.
Third baseman Palmer charging in, maybe anticipating the bunt by Gasebauer, the bunt attempt.
Didn't see Derek square around.
He did not. Palmer thought he was going to. He's on the infield grass. First baseman over, holding on the runner.
Now Gaspar does square around, bunts it nicely down the first base line. Play to first. Bergman to over for the sacrifice bunt by Derek Gaspar. Puts Sankovic down at second with one out.
Good play by Bergman. You're right, Gary. That's a traditional 1-3 putout, but another sacrifice bunt. Man in scoring position, one out for the Mustangs.
First baseman
Brings Mason McManus 1 for 2, singled in the first, struck out looking in the second. Now with Sankovic, good speed out there at second.
There he goes.
He's going to take off, and unnecessary base running mistake there by Sankovic as he took off, and Bergman was having none of it as he just steps back, flips it over to Willie Palmer at third. Easy tag out of Travis Sankovic, and I have no idea.
Saying he's out by a mile would be an understatement there.
Why he would do that with a 6-3 lead. Good hitter at the plate. He's already in scoring position. That's just a base running error.
It's the waste of a base runner, that's for sure. In scoring position, the easiest 1-5 pickoff you're ever going to have.
First pitch to McManus is high and outside. You just take the RBI bat right out of the hands of Mason McManus, who's a very good contact hitter for the Mustangs. That's outside 2-0.
Yeah, cleanup hitting first baseman at the plate. You have one out and a runner in scoring position, and you take off for third, and Bergman knew it immediately, as did Palmer, and the play is made, and he was out by more than a mile.
Swing and foul tip caught by the catcher for Albert Gallatin, Palatke, so that will be a 1-2 count.
This could end up being a very quick inning for AG defensively after a leadoff walk.
Now from the windup, 1-2 pitch. There's a foul back. 2-2.
Making contact, staying alive is the cleanup hitter McManus. Hopefully LH doesn't regret that going down the stretch of this game, that base running blunder by Sankovic.
Bergman now gets a sign, shakes one off, goes to the windup. Here's a pitch, goes sidearm, swing and a miss. Strike 3 to Mason McManus. Goes down for the second time, and it turns into a 1-2-3 inning for the Colonials. We'll be back with the top of the fifth on a Radcliffe and Dehas Baseball Afternoon here on WMBS, the MSA Sports Network, and the South Union Township Sports Network. 6-3 Mustangs. We're ready for the top of the fifth inning with the Mustangs leading 6-3. First pitch to Darien Palmer was low and outside for a ball. Now playing second base. There's a hard shot down to third. Herminio can't grab that, and that was a clean single to the right side of Herminio. Just a shot. He had to try to short hop it, but that would have been a tremendous play if he was able to glove that one. We'll rule that one a single for Palmer, leading off the top of the fifth.
They called the hot corner for a reason. Tan Herminio going down to his right, couldn't make the play, but it was hard hit by Palmer, and that is a single, no doubt, in my book and the official book, I would think.
And that brings up Dylan Over. Flew out to right and hit by a pitch back in the third as he swings and fouls it back for strike one.
See if the Colonials and or the Mustangs can score here in the fifth, the fourth inning, the only inning of the game. No runs scored in either the top or bottom half, and a leadoff single could help AG's cause here in the fifth, down 3.
Novak from the stretch. There's a ground ball to third. Over to Burns for one. On to McManus. Around the horn, double play. Pitcher's best friend.
Absolutely.
As the Mustangs complete the 5-4-3 double play.
Sweet music for both Scott DeBerry and Hudson Novak. 5-4-3. Around the horn, as you mentioned, that's Arminio. To the second baseman, Burns. Over to the first baseman, that's McManus. 2 outs, bases clear. That's what you like to see after a leadoff single.
Austin Bergman now steps in left-handed with 2 outs. There's a little looper down to third base. Arminio circling, can't get it as it's about 5 feet wide of the cyclone fence down there. Coach Popovich providing a little bit of interference.
Doing all he can to avoid the catch there by Arminio and the ball out of play. Too much fence there, and by the way, before the inning wraps up, it's a quick one so far at least. The inning being brought to you by Ted Sova and Son Auto Repair on the Atlas Road in Hopwood.
It's a hopper down to Sankovic. Gloves it, throws it, and gets the runner down the line, Bergman. So quick throw there by Sankovic. Ends the inning 6-3. 1-2-3 inning, benefit of a 5-4-3 double play by the Mustangs. 1 hit in the inning will go to the bottom of the 5th. It's still 6-3 Laurel Highlands on the South Union Township Sports Network, WMBS, and the MSA Sports Network. Back on WMBS and the MSA Sports Network and live to tape on the South Union Township Sports Network.
In living color on the South Union Township Sports Network.
Bottom of the 5th inning, Mustangs with the 6-3 lead due up for the Mustangs, Edenfield, Voighton, and Mehall. And remind everyone, which I'm sure we don't need to give any reminders, Penguin hockey coming up tonight here on WMBS.
Absolutely. Pre-game at 6:30, face-off at 7:30 from PPG Paints Arena in Pittsburgh. If Brian Morozak were not in Hershey, he'd be there tonight, no doubt, with his, I believe, Chris Letang jersey on.
Here's a pitch from Bergman to Edenfield to lead off the bottom of the 5th inning. Low and outside for a ball.
To the Pens and the Bucks tonight after Laurel Highlands High School Baseball on WMBS.
That pitch high and outside, 2-0.
Yep.
Bergman put his hand on his hip, little frustrated with himself there, trying to work in front of Edenfield. 2-0 pitch. That one's way inside, 3-0. Skips away from the Colonial catcher Halatke back to the screen. Has to kind of dig it out of the high grass back there, but they'll replace that wet ball as it finds the mud puddle behind home plate.
Plenty of mud puddles around the stadium and the campus as well because of all the rain that we've received the last few days, but a dry day today. Still some wind, though.
3-0 pitch. That's outside for a 4-pitch walk to Ian Edenfield. And Evan Voighton will come to the plate with Edenfield on at first.
Second time today, Edenfield's been on base, a single, a strikeout, and a walk, and now the batter is Voighton. 0 for 2, reached on an error, scored, and grounded out.
Center fielder Evan Voighton.
Voighton from the left side. No reason for Edenfield to get too far off here. That pitch is in for a strike, I believe. Nope, low and outside.
Very tough to tell from our vantage point, but sometimes it's hard to tell if the home plate umpire signaling strike or a pitch was inside or outside.
Flip over, Edenfield has to dive back in, and he is safe. The Mustangs do not want to run themselves out of another inning here. Leadoff single. Edenfield now will hang in there at first. That one's low and outside. 2-0.
You always want to capitalize on leadoff walks or leadoff singles, and that's what the Mustangs try to do here, up 3 in the 5th.
Voighton may have a take sign of 6 straight balls by Bergman. That one's in for a ball inside, so Bergman can't find the plate right now. 7 straight balls. Got to believe that DeBerry will be giving the take signal and telling Edenfield, take no chances over here at first. Make him throw a pitch to the plate. That one's low and in the dirt, so 8 straight balls by Bergman. Puts 2 men on with nobody out and brings up Richie Mihal.
Another call to the pen coming, Gary, as here comes Ron Popovich.
And he will take the ball off of Austin Bergman. And let's see who the next Colonial pitcher will be. I believe it's going to be Nate Bricker as he is jogging in from center field. And with that, that'll give us an opportunity to step aside for a quick break here on WMBS 590 on your dial, AM 101.1 FM. And the South Union Township Sports Network, Atlantic Broadband, and Armstrong Cable. We'll be right back.
At what point did everything change? When did service get taken out of service industries? It's too bad, because people are busy these days. At life, at work, at play. When it comes to your hard-earned money, you want service. Real service. From a person you know and a face you trust. At a bank where changing with the times doesn't mean leaving people behind. We're proud to be a part of your community. We're United Bank, at your service.
Welcome back. After the pitching change for the Albert Gallatin Colonials, Nate Bricker and Austin Bergman just swap positions. Bricker comes in to pitch, and Bergman heads out to center field. Little last-minute coaching by Popovich. Gets a signal straight now with his catcher, Alatke. Little maintenance down here by Mike Smith at first base, coach for the Mustangs, smoothing things out. And it's going to be Richie Mihal coming to the plate with 2 men on and nobody out here in the bottom of the 5th. Laurel Highlands on top, 6-3.
Nate Bricker is a right-hander, number 41, moves from center to the mound. He's a junior. A 1.30 ERA, 2-1 the record, his 7th appearance of the year.
And Mihal squares around very early, and he's going to pop this up down the third base line, but luckily foul. So no damage, 0-1.
Not the best bunt there.
Oh, 0-1 count. Bergman now will check the runners. Stops in the stretch and now steps back and looks at second base as Edenfield will scamper back in without a throw. Little equipment maintenance behind the plate now by Alatke. All kind of things going on, but nothing happening.
That's right. We're waiting, and Bricker on top of the rubber, ready to throw to Mihal. First and second.
Mihal squares around. Now he squares and bunts it perfectly. Play to third and not in time. And now the ball skips away from the third baseman, Palmer. Scoring on the play will be Edenfield. All the way to third is Voighton, and Mihal hustles into second. So the bunt was down on the third base side, picked up there by Over, the first baseman. Spun and through to third base as Willie Palmer stayed back on third. Ball skipped away from him down the left field line. Mustangs plate the 7th run and now lead 7-3.
Mustangs have that 4-run cushion now. A good bunt by Mihal. He's at second, and throw getting away from Palmer at third, you're right, Gary, and now the Mustangs in business, up 4 with 2 runners in scoring position.
Josh Burns comes in after hitting a long double off the bottom of the fence back in the third inning with 2 runners again in scoring position for him. Swings at the first pitch for strike 1. Bricker will work from the stretch. There's a high fly ball in the infield. Looks like Over is going to call it, and he's going to make the catch. So first out of the inning is a towering fly ball by Josh Burns, fielded there by the first baseman for the Colonials, Dylan Over. And that'll leave Voighton at third and Mihal out there at second. Scored Mihal a sacrifice on that last at bat.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Absolutely.
As did I.
And getting some instructions down the line was Tanner Mineo. 2 for 2 for Tan here this afternoon. Singled in the second and singled in the third. Scored a run back in the second inning for the Mustangs. He'll have an opportunity with 1 out and 2 runners left out there in scoring position for the Mustangs.
Yeah, good, busy, productive day for Arminio so far. Can make it even better here.
Bricker steps sideways and does not get the call.
Just missed.
Outside, ball 1. Infield in on the grass for the Colonials, trying to cut off any kind of an additional run for the Mustangs. 1-0 pitch. There's a looper down the left side, and that's going to drop foul outside the foul line down there in left field.
Giving chase was the left fielder, but I'm not able to get to it. Is it 1 out of play?
And that is Sam Halatke.
It is.
1-1 now to Arminio. 1 out in the inning. There's the pitch. Just outside. 2-1. Came with the curveball. Bricker now trying to work quickly. Arminio stepping back in. Hudson Novak on deck for the Mustangs. Bricker shaking off several signs. Now has one he likes. Here's the pitch. A little looper to shortstop, and he bobbles it. He'll have to come to first, and a tag made. A safe call as the little dribbler down to shortstop, and that's Adam Simon, kind of bobbled it and was unable to make a play at the plate. So scoring for the Mustangs is Evan Voighton for the second run of the inning. Threw on to first, was a little high. Over had to go high to make the catch, and he came down and tagged Arminio as he was coming past first base, and he was called safe.
Yes, Simon wanted to go home, but he bobbled the ball initially, had to go to first then, but the tag on the high throw to Over, the tag not applied in time, so safe at first.
We're going to have an appeal now.
Is Arminio, and Ron Popovich not happy with the call by the base umpire. He's going to talk to Dick Witt.
Possibly ask him if he saw something different, and
he didn't.
He did not. So we'll have first and second. Smartly staying down at second base was Richie Mihal, as that play was right in front of him with shortstop Simon gloving the ball, kind of bobbled it slightly and knew that he would not be able to get Voighton streaking to the plate. So he elected to try to get the out at first, and as we said, the high throw resulted in the safe call for Arminio. That brings up Hudson Novak.
So the Mustangs benefit from that slight misplay, and they get another run to extend the lead to 5. As Bricker works here, takes his time. Novak the batter, top of the order for the Mustangs.
Hudson on just one time today with a walk.
He's pitched a good game, though, as well.
Takes a strike on the outside part of the plate. Flew to center field, walked in the second, grounded to third in the third inning. Just 1 out in the inning. It's inside, 1-1. Tried to get Hudson to chase a lazy curveball.
Very lazy indeed. Some breaking action there. Couldn't find the strike zone from Bricker to Novak.
Bricker gets a sign from Halatke. Stops in the stretch. There's a foul ball by Novak over the right side. So 2-2 now with one out. Runners at first and second. Mustangs now with the 8-3 lead. 2 runs in the inning. After the 2 leadoff walks sacrificed by Richie Mihal, pop up by Burns. And then the misplay at shortstop resulting in the 2 runs. That ball's in the dirt, and Halatke tries to throw through to second base, but diving back in safely was Mihal. So the count runs full to Hudson Novak.
A quick toss down by Halatke, and a nice job to keep it in the infield by Darien Palmer, the second baseman.
Bricker now will work once again to Hudson Novak. Brings us to the plate, and there's a foul ball again off the right side.
Over our heads.
Hudson hangs in. Bright sunshine now here at Tom Landman Field on the campus at Laurel Highlands.
It's turning into a beautiful late afternoon, early evening for high school baseball. Beautiful blue skies, sun is out. And no rain today. That's the best news of all. Bricker steps off. Now he's set to go to Novak.
Bricker from the stretch. He'll step back and throw.
Kind of a lazy toss.
Over to the second baseman who was not covering the bag. He just made the play in any event.
Lazy toss there. You're right, to Darien Palmer off the bag.
So Bricker will once again review the signs. Novak digs in, and there's a shot into center field, and that's almost over the head of Bergman, who makes a jumping catch. I'm sorry, that's Uphold in center field. Bergman's out in right field, so they kind of swap positions. Uphold makes a nice play out there in center field as he almost misjudged it, but was able to pull it in at the last second for the second out of the inning.
And a great job by Uphold to judge that ball properly and jump at just the right time, and to not start the game in center, as you mentioned. He was at second. Bricker was in center. Now he's on the mound, so a good play by Kobe Uphold for the second out.
There's a pop-up in the infield. Palmer coming in, fighting it, and makes the play in the grass infield. So a pop-up to end the inning there by the Mustang shortstop Travis Sankovic. Ends the inning, but the Mustangs do plate 2, and they now lead 8-3. We'll move to the top of the 6th on the South Union Township Sports Network, WMBS, and the MSA Sports Network.
It's Laurel Highlands 8 and Upper Gallatin 3.
Davis and Davis, helping the injured.
If you're injured in an accident, after you address the medical problems, you're going to be faced with numerous questions concerning who's going to pay your medical bills, your property damage, the wages that you might be losing if you can't go to work. These are things that you need counsel for.
That your income is protected, that your bills are paid, that your family's taken care of. We've been doing this since 1976. We've helped injured people. We can help you.
Davis and Davis, attorneys at law.
Leading off the top of the 6th inning for the Colonials.
And welcome back on WMBS, the MSA Sports Network and the South Union Township Sports Network. Nick Barczyk, Gary Frankhauser, Joe Salzone, Jerry Dupay. High school baseball action. Laurel Highlands leading Albert Gallatin 8-3 as we head to the 6th. And Hudson Novak back out for a 6th inning of work today. The starting pitcher for Scott DeBerry and the Mustangs. That pitch finds the strike zone. The count now 1-1 to the Colonials batter, and the Mustangs with a 5-run lead. R.J. Halatke at the dish. The catcher takes a ball up and in, 2-1.
So Hudson Novak into his 6th inning of work. He's able to continue here We do not have the official pitch count, but if he is able to finish this inning, you would have to believe this will be his last outing.
Has to be getting close, absolutely.
As a Mustang pitcher.
That's right. Hudson Novak, the senior, multi-sport athlete. This one lined towards the second baseman, and a nice effortless catch made going to his left by the second baseman, Josh Burns. Line out 4. And Halaki retired, 1 away to begin the 6th inning of play here. Novak now faces Colby Uphold, the center fielder. Began the game at second base, switched places with Nate Bricker. The Colonials have gone through 3 pitchers so far. The Mustangs staying with their starter Novak. As Gary battles a bumblebee, here's the pitch from Novak to the left-hand batting Uphold. That one misses inside, and that thing's not getting to me.
These bees are famous here at the Laurel Highlands press box.
Various pets.
Here's the 1-1. That's a strike of the knees, 1 and 2 to Uphold. Sacrifice bunt. Check that. That was Halaki. Ground out for Uphold.
And a single.
And a single, yes.
Strike 3 looking.
Yes, he takes that pitch at the knees for strike 3. That's a backwards K, and quickly 2 outs for the Mustangs. Uphold goes down. Top of the order now, Nate Bricker, the current pitcher, 0 for 2 with a walk.
2 quick outs for Hudson Novak. Very few pitches. Second strikeout for Hudson Novak here this afternoon. Both looking. Bricker, one of those. No, I'm sorry, he walked. I thought he struck out.
Yeah, Bricker walked. He's flied out and grounded out. He's 0 for 2 with a walk, and Novak working to the top of the order in Bricker. Here's the kick and the come home. That one low, and a nice grab by the catcher, Chad Petrish. This top half of the 6th being brought to you by the Uniontown Hospital, making a healthy difference in the lives they touch each and every day. Quickly 2 outs on the top of the 6th. They charge in, trying to bunt for a hit here is Bricker.
I think that was more of a block of the plate to try to get another ball. Wouldn't think he'd be bunting in this situation.
No, highly unlikely, but he does not square this time. Takes high and in, 3-1. Adam Simon, if needed, on deck. He scored 2 of the 3 runs for the Colonials. Novak looks in. The kick and the come home to Bricker. Swing and a miss.
Good fastball there by Hudson Novak. Had Bricker a little behind.
Count is now forward, 3 balls, 2 strikes.
Evan Voighton very deep out there in center field. And a swing and a miss, strike 3.
Swing and a miss, strike 3 indeed. Back-to-back strikeouts, a 1-2-3 inning, 3 up, 3 down for Hudson Novak. And the Mustangs, we played 5.5. We go to the bottom of the 6th. It is now, and still, the Mustangs 8, the Colonials 3. Back with the bottom of the 6th after this in 90 seconds. You're listening to 590 AM, 101.1 FM, WMBS, the MSA Sports Network, and watching the South Union Township Sports Network.
Southwestern Endoscopy Center is a state-licensed and Medicare-certified facility and emphasizes privacy, comfort, caring, and safety for colonoscopies and upper GI endoscopies. Painless procedures are done with twilight sedation given by a board-certified anesthesiologist. The center accepts most insurance plans and is staffed by Doctors Ruthhart, Calabrese, Stokes, SWGI, specialists in digestive health.
Welcome back on WMBS, the MSA Sports Network and the South Union Township Sports Network. Nick, Gary, Jerry, and Joe back at the station, keeping us on the air. We head to the bottom of the 6th. 8-3, Laurel Highlands on top, and this pitch by Bricker is low for a ball to the Mustang batter, number 23. That's Derek Acebauer.
Walked in the first, got on an error in the second, sacrificed in the 6th.
2-0 is a ground ball to third. Palmer has it. Few steps on the infield grass, makes the play to Dylan Over. 5-3, Palmer to Over on the putout, 1 away in the bottom of the 6th. 1 out brings up Mason McManus, the first baseman. A couple of strikeouts and a single for McManus.
10.
As the Mustangs work here, hopefully for them, the final at-bat of the game for Laurel Highlands, up 5 here in the 6th. That pitch.
And for a strike.
Over the plate for a strike, 0-1 to McManus. Ian Edenfield to follow. Anyone reaches Evan Voighton. As Bricker works here in the bottom half of the 6th in relief of Bergman. Palmer, the starter, the pitcher of record for the loss in this game. Novak would get the win. He has pitched 6 strong innings. 3 runs given up. Bricker on top of the rubber. The kick and the come home to Mason McManus. That one's high for a ball. 1-2 the count to the cleanup batter. McManus coming in today, hitting at .361. Takes a ball there, 2-2. As that sunshine shines through the right field press box here. Beautiful day for high school baseball. Brickers 2-2, kicks and comes home. That one low check swing did not go around. The count now forward 3-2 to Mason McManus.
Crowd hanging around here, Nick.
Certainly is. Why not? Beautiful day.
Lined up down that left field line and in the bleachers behind the third base dugout.
Looking to see a Mustang victory today, and this one lined into left field for a base hit past Palmer into left field, and that's a single with 1 out for Mason McManus. He's on base for the second time, 2 for 4 with 2 singles. He stops at first, will be held on by Dylan Over. The 2 first basemen in today's game chatting it up.
Number 24, Ian.
And the batter is the DH, Ian Edenfield. A single, a walk, a run, 1 for 2, a strikeout as well back in the 3rd inning for the designated hitter. That pitch is high in the zone, but called a strike, 0-1. Is the strike call granted by Dick Witt. He does it his way behind the plate. Here's the 0-1. Off-speed action there, fouled off both the catcher and the umpire there for an 0-2 count.
Good change of pace by Bricker.
Absolutely.
That ball was about half the speed of the first pitch.
Trying to fool the Mustangs, and Ian Edenfield there as he slows things down. Catcher buying himself some time. Halaki going out to talk to Bricker. And Bricker will walk to the back of the mound, now on top of the rubber.
Both teams not qualifying for the playoffs. They'll be looking forward to American Legion baseball action, which will be coming up later this month in the first part of June, and that will take them through the summer.
That's right. Good to see the baseball continuing for these 2 clubs, not making the postseason here in the WPI-AL portion of baseball play. That's a foul ball pop-up near the first base dugout. The catcher, Halaki, whipped off the mask but couldn't make the play. It's a foul ball.
Great effort there by Halaki, coming over to the on-deck circle for the Mustangs, trying to grab that one and unable to reach it.
Great to see his team not making the playoffs. He's down 5 in the next to last inning, but still making the effort. He's caught the entire game and has to be tired back there.
Got a little bit of an injury. I think he may have cut his finger with that diving attempt down here by the Mustang dugout. He's going to head to the AG dugout for some first aid.
And hopefully he's okay. Halaki is a little shaken up. We'll take a quick timeout first, telling you this half inning being brought to you by Republic Food Enterprises and the Fayette County Community Action Agency. We'll take a quick timeout, be back with the continuation of the bottom of the 6th, 8-3 Laurel Highlands here on the law firm of Radcliffe and Diaz High School Sports Day on WMBS, the MSA Sports Network, and the South Union Township Sports Network. Back right after this. Welcome back here on WMBS, the MSA Sports Network, and the South Union Township Sports Network. Nick Barczyk, Jerry Dupay, Gary Frankhauser, Joe Salzone, all a part of the broadcast. And we're still in an injury timeout. And by the way, injury timeouts on WMBS are always brought to you by the Centers for Rehab Services, the leaders in physical therapy. Visit physical therapist Jim Burns on Wayland Smith Drive in Uniontown, or phone 724-437-7500. That's 437-7500. The Centers for Rehab Services relief is closer than you think with therapist Jim Burns and their fine staff. An injury timeout, Gary, still going on. A powwow on the mound just behind the mound for Albert Gallatin, for the catcher Halaki, who banged himself up there, I believe maybe a cut finger in the fence.
They're going to work on him down there, and the Laurel Highlands training staff doing some work over there, and a little bit of a conversation between the umpires, coaching staff, and as you said, a meeting behind the mound by the Albert Gallatin infield, deciding where they're going to dinner later on.
That's right. Maybe where they have plans to watch the Penguin game tonight.
All right.
Pre-game coming up.
Received a text from Tony Anula.
Our man Tony.
He wanted us to mention Pucks and Bucks tonight.
That's right, Pucks and Bucks. That's the official announcement of a sports doubleheader. With our game, a tripleheader. Very rare we have 3 games on a Monday, but that's your local station for you. We get it in. The Penguins, the Pucks at 6:30, pregame, 7:30 face-off, Pens and Caps from Pittsburgh, and the Pirates and the Dodgers from Chavez Ravine. The pregame at 9:45 right after the Penguins. First pitch at 10:10, the Bucks and Pucks on WMBS. And the Mustangs here in high school baseball have an 8-3 lead, bottom of the 6th.
24, Ian.
Halaki is now okay. Bricker still on top of the rubber, and we continue play here. In the bottom of the 6th, the runner on, 1 out. The batter is Ian Edenfield. The count is 0-2. Bricker comes set. The pitch, high and in, 1-2. Halaki looks to be okay as he dove up to keep that off the backstop.
Kind of surprised that Bricker didn't take a few warm-ups there, having that long delay. Tough to come right back on the hill and be comfortable.
Pretty surprised myself. Here comes Bricker. He's set. The 1-2 is outside. Halaki's snap throw to first. And not in time as Over got the throw and hit the tag pretty quickly on McManus, but he's back in time standing up. It's an old Yadier Molina classic move, the snap throw to first. Good job by Halaki. Bricker takes his time. He peers back at Over, who's holding on the runner with the moderate lead. That's McManus. Asking for time and having it granted is Ian Edenfield. Mustangs hoping this is their final turn at bat today in the 6th, up 8-3. Bricker looks back again. Peers in, kicks and comes home, off speed. Swing and a miss, I believe. No contact made.
A little bit of a foul ball.
Had to be a foul ball, yes, with 2 strikes. Yeah, very tough to see there down the line. And
Edenfield's eyes got as wide as watermelons there on that curveball as it was hanging over the plate, and he just took a rip at it. Just got a little piece of it, though.
Got a very small piece of it indeed, and that keeps the at-bat alive as he fouls it off. 2 strikes on Edenfield. 2-2 coming. Bricker taking his time, getting the signs from Halaki. Looks back to check on the runner, and the throw over not in time. No tag applied. McManus slides in. Bricker ready to go to Edenfield. The pitch, and this one line down the line.
Fair ball.
That's a fair ball down the line. Past Palmer into the left field corner. Rounding second, heading for third is McManus. McManus is going to be held at third, standing up. That's a fair ball. Tough to get the signal there, but just down the line in fair territory. A 1-out double for Ian Edenfield. Puts runners at second and third. 1 out for the Mustangs. They're battling, trying to extend the 5-run lead.
McManus kind of stopped at second base. He couldn't see where the ball had ended up down the left field line. The bright sunlight and the grass down there kind of hiding the ball. Looking at Coach DeBerry, it holds him up at third base. So second and third with 1 out.
Evan Voyden, the batter. First, the wind caused havoc. Now the sun, but that's a happy problem to have with the sunshine so abundant today, especially in the later stages of the game. That one fouled off by Voyden. Center fielder has reached on an error and scored. A single and a run as well. He's 1 for 3. Grounded out his first turn at bat in the first. Second and third, 1 out, 8-3. Mustangs up 5 in the 6th. This one grounded to first, backhanded on the infield grass by Over, throws home. And the tag not applied. That's a run. Sliding in safely is McManus, an RBI. Infield single for Voyden. 9-3 Mustangs, and down to third is Ian Edenfield.
Kind of surprisingly going on contact there was McManus, but that was a high chopper to over here at first, and by the time he had to jump and make the catch, the throw to home was not going to be in time, and it was high anyway, so had to make the try at home, but that will leave first and third now with just one out. Call that a fielder's choice.
Fielder's choice, I guess you'd have to say. No single, that's right. But Voighton does reach. The run does come home. That's what really matters. The Mustangs now up 6-9-3. Surprising going on contact with one out, I agree. And swing and a miss this time. The batter is Richie Mihal, left fielder. He's 0 for 3 with a pop out, a ground out, a strikeout.
Mustangs will take those insurance runs now 9-3.
Snap throw to first and a quick tag applied by Over, but not in time to nab Voighton. But the Mustangs, I'm sure, very comfortable lead going into the seventh, whether it's 6 runs or more. This one off the fist, that one right side, rolls into shallow right field, a base hit, second baseman out to get it. That's Palmer, but another run comes home. Double figures for the Mustangs. Scoring is Edenfield from third. RBI single for Richie Mihal. He's on the board. So with the Mustangs up a touchdown, 10-3.
Must have had that bat chalked up pretty well because right. Off the end of the bat, right just cued it right out to the edge of the grass in right field and over the head of the infield being brought in by Albert Gallatin. But a single for Richie Mihal. And an RBI.
It's a ribeye there, 10-3. Drives home Edenfield. Little fister to right. And the batter now, Josh Burns. The double, a run, an RBI for the second baseman. In today's game, basically everyone has contributed for the Mustangs. Bricker's pitch, swing and a miss. Counts even at a ball and a strike.
Josh with a huge double back in the third inning.
Certainly was. It played at Voighton. Bricker looks to second. Comes home, and that is a strike at the knees. 2 strikes now to the batter, Burns, with 1 out and a runner at first and second. Bricker takes his time, looks into Halaki, his battery mate. Doesn't like what he sees apparently and steps off for the time being. Ball in his right hand behind his number 41 on the back of his jersey. Comes set, kicks and comes home. This one hit in the air to right center field. Going back on it is the right fielder. Makes the catch, now tagging and moving down to third is Voighton. He's in standing up. So fly out 9 for the second out, but tagging and going to third, 90 feet away from a run for the Mustangs and Voighton.
And Bergman now playing right field. Had to go to his right, but was able to track that one down now that the sun is kind of out of the eyes of the right fielder, setting across the way.
Yeah, busy day for Austin Bergman. Pitched at one point today, the left-hander, now in right field. He makes that catch for the second out of the inning, and that pitch up and in to the batter Tanner Mineo, third baseman.
Been on base all 3 times, 2 hits and on an error in his last attempt.
Scored a run, RBI. Third baseman today for the Mustangs. First and third, 2 outs. Mustangs up 7. The pitch to Arminio. Swing maybe got a piece, but it is a strike. 1-1. Over holding on, the runner at first, Mihal. Bricker comes set, and the offering to Tanner Mineo is just a tad up in the zone, 2-1.
Looking down at Coach DeBerry, probably just phantom signals at this point.
I would imagine. Nothing of any substance at this point. Quick throw to first, and sliding in head first is the base runner, Mihal. Dylan Over doing a good job of holding on the runner. One more at bat for Albert Gallatin coming up in the top half of the 7th to try to get all these runs back. The Mustangs have plated 2 so far this inning, and that one foul down the line.
Arminio's hit the ball hard. Nice to see him with some success here this afternoon. Has been a little snake bit over the second half of the season. And with the 2 hits today and the hard balls that he's hit all day today, building his confidence.
That's good to see for him. Winding on down the season, a couple of hits today, and now he awaits this offering from Bricker. Runners go, this one lined to the shortstop. Nice pick by the shortstop over to Over, who has to go off the bag, and the out call is made. First base coach not happy as Over had to go off the bag and apply the tag to Arminio. It was a good play, though, by the shortstop, Adam Simon. It goes as a 6-3 putout to end the inning. 2 runs come home for the Mustangs. They strand 2, but they're up now 7. Last wraps for the Colonials. 10-3 Laurel Highlands. We played 6 to the 7th. Back after this, you are watching the South Union Township Sports Network and listening to the MSA Sports Network and WMBS 590 AM, 101.1 FM, the law firm of Radcliffe and Diaz High School Sports Day.
Laurel Highlands.
Here we go, top half of the 7th. Last wraps for Albert Gallatin, down 7, 10-3. Laurel Highlands, good day offensively, plating 2 last inning, 1 in the first, 3 in the second, 2 in the third, 2 in the fifth, 2 in the sixth. The Colonials, 1 in the first and just 2 in the third. That's the only offense for them. 6 innings of work for Hudson Novak. His day is done. He's the pitcher of record for the win. Loss would go to Willie Palmer. The new pitcher, Greg Lancaster, number 2 right-hander for the Mustangs.
He has been used extensively in the relief role here in the second half of the season. Hudson Novak moves out to center field, so put Lancaster in Voighton's spot.
Mustangs 3 outs away from a win. Colonials now at the plate. And Lancaster, his numbers. His 6th inning of work, he's pitched 5, 6 hits, 3 runs, 3 earned, 4 walks, 4 strikeouts for Greg Lancaster, who works here. That pitch is on the outside corner, but a called strike. It painted the corner. The Colonials down 7. Work here. Here's the pitch. This one is grounded to second base. Burns over to get it. To his right, makes the play to retire number 13. That's Adam Simon. 4-3 put out there for the first out of the top of the 7th.
Nice job there by Josh Burns. That ball was scooting, and it just stayed down, did not come up at all. Kept his glove on the ground, made a nice grab and quick throw to first to get the speedy Adam Simon.
Yes, certainly a good play by Josh Burns. Has played well defensively at second to make the throw over to Mason McManus.
And we have a pinch hitter.
We do. I believe it's Sam Halacki. And it is, the senior. That one finds the outside corner for a strike.
So Halacki will bat for the first time here this afternoon.
Halacki gets his turn, 1 out, nobody on. Lancaster, as Gary and I joked during the break, an unsafe situation, but still trying to get these last 3 outs. They're tough to get no matter the score. That pitch misses.
Next broadcast of Mustang Baseball will be Wednesday afternoon. It will be senior day here at Laurel Highlands, facing the Uniontown Red Raiders, crosstown rival.
Does not get much better than that. Another Fayette County rivalry. This a ground ball to short, coming in on the infield grass to make the play and retire the batter there, Halacki. That's 6-3. And a good play there coming in by Travis Sankovic over to McManus. 2 away. And the Colonials down to their last out of the ball game, Gary.
And Lancaster made that look routine. And then again, that was a running in play from the shortstop position. Gloved it very smoothly and on the run made the play over to McManus.
This pitch is fouled out of play by Willie Palmer, the starting pitcher today for the Colonials, number 23. scored a run in this ball game as well. But he'll get the loss today unless a miracle happens for Albert Gallatin. Down to their final 2 strikes. Coming set, the kick in the come home is Lancaster. Swing and a miss, and the Colonials down to their final strike.
Lancaster doing exactly what you would expect him to do here, throw strikes.
Absolutely. 2-strike pitch. Coming set, the kick, the come home from Greg Lancaster to Willie Palmer. That one comebacker up the middle. I believe it hit the glove of Lancaster.
Wow.
But a great play made by the shortstop, and that's Travis Sankovic to end the game. A beautiful, I think that might have been a 1-6-3. May have hit the glove of Lancaster, but the play made by Sankovic over to McManus. That's the ball game. Your final score, Laurel Highlands 10, Albert Gallatin 3. Back to wrap it up after this on WMBS, the MSA Sports Network, and the South Union Township Sports Network.
Davis and Davis, helping the injured.
If you're injured in an accident, after you address the medical problems, you're going to be faced with numerous questions concerning who's going to pay your medical bills, your property damage, the wages that you might be losing if you can't go to work. These are things that you need counsel for.
That your income is protected, that your bills are paid, that your family's taken care of. We've been doing this since 1976. We've helped injured people. We can help you.
Davis and Davis, attorneys at law.
Back here at your local station. Back here at your local station, WMBS MSA Sports Network, South Union Township Sports Network. Nick and Gary signing off here. A big win for the Mustangs, beating Albert Gallatin 10-3. Hudson Novak gets the win. 6 innings of relief, an inning of scoreless relief for Greg Lancaster. Gary has the totals.
Thanks, Nick. For Albert Gallatin, 3 runs, just 3 hits, 7 men left on base, and Albert Gallatin did commit 4 errors. 1 run in the first, 2 runs in the third for their total of 3 runs, and able to push across those 3 runs with the benefit of an error by the Mustangs in that inning. So good outing by Hudson Novak as he kept the Albert Gallatin Colonials off balance the entire game and able to go, as you said, 6 strong innings to get the win. For the Mustangs, they played 10 runs, come out of their shell for the first time in a long time to put 10 runs across the board, and they were the beneficiaries of 8 hits. They did also leave 8 men on base and committed a couple errors. Hitting for the Mustangs, Mason McManus with a couple of hits, Ian Edenfield a single and a double, Tanner Minio with a couple of hits, Richie Mihal with a big hit in the 6th inning. So the Mustangs put the ball in play, did what they needed to do to put runs up on the board and come away with a win against the cross-county rival Albert Gallatin Colonials.
That's right, a big win for the Mustangs. Good job by Hudson Novak and the rest of the gang. The final score, once again, Laurel Highlands 10, Albert Gallatin 3. Our next broadcast of Mustang Baseball comes on Senior Day Wednesday at 3:45 against Uniontown. For Jerry DuPay, Joe Salzone, Gary Frankhauser, and Brian Morozak in beautiful Hershey, Pennsylvania, I'm Nick Barczyk saying so long for now. Once again, Laurel Highlands 10, Albert Gallatin 3. So long, everybody.
Let's go, Pens.
That's right. Your final score tonight, Laurel Highlands 10, Albert Gallatin 3 in high school baseball action. Tonight's game was brought to you as a joint cooperative venture featuring Township Supervisors Bob Schiffbauer, Rick Vernon, and Jason Scott, Atlantic Broadband, Armstrong Cable, and our friends at CUTV, Gary Smith and their fine staff. I'm Nick Barczyk, along with Gary Frankhauser and Jerry DuPay. This has been a South Union Township Sports Network presentation. Once again, your final score in high school baseball action, Laurel Highlands 10, Albert Gallatin 3. So long, everybody.